Hello, world. Welcome back to MIRRORMOURN. I am your Dungeon Master, Esper, and we've got the fabulous four back with us as always. Let's run through the characters and then we'll get into the adventure.
Hello, I'm Warsor and I'm playing Walykos, the level 1, but going to be level 2 as soon as we long rest. Paragon of the Trickster. And his race is some form of elf curse thing. We'll see. Satyr, mechanically.
I am Vince. I am playing Vapor, the Air Genasi level 1 sorcerer, and as said before, after long rest, will be level 2.
Hello, I'm Nick. I am playing Adriel, the level 1 rogue. Well, level 2 very soon. I'm excited because I love leveling up. I'm also a human because humans are the best class in D&D. I mean, come on.
Humans aren't a class.
All right. Best race in D&D.
Do it.
Shame.
You've already said it.
Shame.
Can't take it back.
Go on.
And I'm Adam, and I'm playing Aygir, the Hobgoblin Artificer, who is apparently an Artificer if you read the official pronunciation guide.
All right, so everyone is very eager to complete a long rest and reach level 2, where their powers will grow by leaps and bounds. And you have left the safe confines, or usually safe confines, of the city of Barnacle and trekked south by southwest along the coastline. You're on a job of sorts. Aygir and Vapor and Adriel and Walykos having recently met each other and gotten persuaded, we'll say, by Lummy Longstock to make your way to the coastal cave that is no massive distance away from Barnacle, a day or so trek, and secure the location, as there is going to be a boat, a smuggler's boat, arriving within some short few days, carrying a shipment of some kind of contraband, and you have been promised a payment of it, assuredly at least 50 gold pieces each, which that's a pretty nice purse. You have encountered the Gilkill tribe, some bluish goblins that seem to dwell near the coast, and you fought with them and their crabs, and you chased some of them or scared some of them off, but most of them you defeated quite handily there at the coast. So you're still there. You're at the beach with the waves rolling in and out, and some of the foam and sea froth is getting a bit crimson, mixing with some blood of defeated goblin foes.
Could I for the goblins, do any of them have like any weapons on them? Like any happen to have a dagger?
They do, yeah. So you look at these goblins as their bodies are just kind of like back and forth with the tide on the beach there, and maybe one of them's like bobbing out in the waves. They have fashioned and otherwise cobbled together their arms and armaments from carapace, crab and crustacean looking things. It's intermixed as well with some bits of leather straps, and here and there maybe a buckle or a spur or a bit of metal that they maybe forged or scavenged. And you do see that they seem quite fond of collecting all sorts of debris that one might find along a coastline and make it as part of their self-ornamentation and their gear and effects.
So,
do they have any? Oh yeah.
Are the crabs the size of like people, like children?
They are,
like,
yeah. They're pretty big size. Like imagine a really big person like spread out. Like they're big,
like sideways person. Yeah, on the crab.
Yeah.
Can I grab one of those crabs and take it with us? Because there's got to be some good, delicious crab meat in there.
There's a lot of crab meat in there. Absolutely. You can eat that for days and days and days.
I was gonna say we'll cook it later. Like it'll be fine. The shell should keep it, pretty good until we're ready to crack this crab open. So yeah,
Seeing Walykos poking at that, Aygir's gonna sort of sidle up to him and say, "So, what do you think? Should we stop and cook that somewhere? I'm certainly itching to take a load off myself."
So Walykos kept his robes on and his mask on during this whole fight, even though he jumped very goat-like up the side of the hill. He looks over to you and says, "I think that we should drag this out of the water and we should take it with us for rations. We're still a good ways from the caves, I believe." Did he say that it would take days to get there?
He said, I think, 2 days. Something like that. Yeah.
Depending upon your travel pace and obstacles along the way, it should take maybe 2, probably maybe 1.5.
I believe he said a day or 2. You know those things don't last forever once they're dead.
Yes.
They go bad.
I think we should get out of this place and take one of these with us. It'll let us find a place to camp and nourish us through the night.
Well, defensive rocks seem as good a place to me as any other, but maybe there would be some harbor further down.
Perhaps we should leave this area as well. Well, some of the goblins did get away. They might come back.
True.
Are we staying or are we leaving? We don't have all day. Sit around and bellyache on
Do
what
we
we're
not
doing.
have all day? I thought he said this was to take a while before they showed up.
We are going somewhere. Are we not trying to get there? Are we standing around trying to figure out if we're going to stay here or keep
We're
going?
going hothead.
I imagine
Oh, no.
Vapor shouting this from his hiding spot up.
Oh yeah, because
He's shouting this as he's walking over because he's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Is your friend all right? He seems a bit hot-headed over there.
He's okay. He's just a bit like this sometimes. No reason why.
Walykos
I just raised an eyebrow at Aygir.
Walykos takes like the 2 claws of the crab, drapes them over his shoulder like straps, and he's just wearing the crab on his back basically as I'm like walking with it. And maybe my horns like kind of lock it in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. No, you're
I was just gonna say I'll continue to like as Walykos is like getting those on. I'll just search all of the goblin bodies that are on the area where we killed them just to check if they have like any gold.
Sure. They've got like light armor, mainly made from chitinous materials, and they've got some little spear or javelin things and knives, and one of them has like a club with some like
all sized for goblins. So.
Do they happen to have a dagger?
Yeah, a couple of them have some dagger-like things.
I'll take a dagger because I lost my dagger. So
yeah, you look at their dagger, and yeah, it's fashioned out of some, maybe like a spike or a tip off of one of these giant crabs, and they've sharpened it and like strapped a handle, a grip onto it.
Crab dagger.
This would definitely shank someone.
Do they have 2? Can I get 2 crab daggers?
Roll a d4, and that's how many you find.
All right, come on. I just want 2. I don't even want 4. I just want 2, so I can have 2 crab daggers.
We'll give the extra ones.
You'll get a 1.
I rolled a 2. Yes.
Yeah. I was hoping for a 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the daggers and sort of like look at them a bit and say, "Well, Walykos, I think I found a good replacement for the one I lost, and then I'll somehow put them on my person."
You probably should have been more careful with it to begin with. You threw it so recklessly over the edge of the cliff.
Well,
yeah, I'm just gonna shake my head, like knowing you're right, but not wanting to admit it.
Well, as bad as it might be to advertise our presence, I think my associate here might be right. If you two are feeling quite crabby enough, maybe we could make some waves, as it were.
Shall we continue then along the beach, or shall we try to cut further inland to avoid the goblins?
I should think we should go inland. If the terrain isn't too
I'm
rough.
not sure. They ran inland from what I could see.
Yes.
And yet they attacked us from the sea on these crabs.
Well, they
Seems
definitely
so.
come to the beach to hunt, it seems.
I do think that we should at least remove ourselves from the beach. It seems very dangerous to stay here, as this may be where they come normally.
I guess we're going to be trudging through some very uneven, very thick brush.
Walykos begins heading towards the inland.
Yeah, and Adriel will follow Walykos.
As Aygir sort of comes alongside them, he looks over at Walykos and says, "You know, I do not seriously mean to offend by this, but you get stranger and stranger looking every day. And I've only known you for a day."
Well, then, I would say not very strange at all, then.
Well, you started out, you know.
Are you making fun of my friend?
Fun? No. Just observations.
Well, keep those observations to yourself, and then I'll like walk forward after
I
saying
would
that.
say that we all keep strange company these days. Let us simply learn to live with one another's oddities until we have completed our work.
Strange company. Well, if you know Tommy Longstock, then no truer words have ever been said.
All right, I think we're walking through the brush.
Up the ridge and into the vegetation in the higher ground. Walykos is dragging this giant crab. It's pretty heavy, but maybe someone helps him out because that there's a lot of meat to.
I mean, I'm not a weakling. You know, I'll make a strength check if you want.
Okay.
Fails, and it just like crushes Walykos.
Make actually a Constitution check.
My constitution's even better than my strength. By a lot. Does a 21 do it?
All right, so you, it's definitely a lot of work, but you maintain your energy level and you get the thing hauled up the side of the ridge, unassisted.
Adriel, like after getting up there, he will say like, "Walykos, you sure you're all right down there? Do you need any help with that?"
I'll let you know when you can take over.
I'll look at the crab, sort of like saying, "Well, I hope I don't need to. That seems quite heavy."
So you've achieved the higher ground. You're in the vegetation now. So there are various sedges and grasses and fungal stalks that grow up pretty high. There are these trees that have these bulbous-shaped roots at the bottom, like tall, oblong, bulbous shapes. And then the tree itself kind of does this weird, scraggly up thrust. And then the branches are actually not, they're not very plentiful branches. They're kind of like spaced out quite a bit. And then at the end of every branch is like this gnarled foliage thing that comes out with like little succulent disc-shaped clusters. And they have like little air roots hanging down. And you see insects buzzing in and out of them, making nests and making homes. There are some rock formations. There's variations in the terrain. So, you know, depending upon where you are, you can see the way ahead or not. And it's a varied rock / vegetative seaside hill. There are goblin tracks. The goblins that scurried away for their lives when their comrades had been felled by the lot of you.
Is there a path we can take that takes us towards the cave we're heading towards?
Yeah, there is something of a trail that looks like it's just been traveled or walked on so much that it's beaten down the undergrowth. A little footpath, and it looks like it's been used heavily by goblins coming and going from this beach.
And it sort of runs
in the direction that you all were going in this.
Does it kind of run parallel to the beach itself?
Wait, did you say that the path?
I mean, it will make its little bends and winds around the bigger juts of rock and stuff, but more or less it's winding south by southwest.
Wait, did you say that the path that leads to the cave is one that the goblins are going down, or it's
a higher path? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this looks like it goes the right way, but we should be careful to always keep the sea to our I'm guessing left if we're going west. Yeah, should always keep the seat to our left. That way we won't.
And we would
turn
turn
in the
around
wrong
and
way.
to our right. All right.
Well, you never know. In this undergrowth, you get lost. You could get very, very lost.
Lead on then, and I will take our meal with us. We need to find some sort of shelter, not on this goblin path that they travel frequently.
Agreed.
All right. So do you have a plan then? Are you going to just go out into the wild growth?
Well, no, we want to probably follow the path for as long as reasonably makes sense, just to put as much distance towards the cave in today as possible. But then, as soon as it looks like we might only have
Like an hour.
2 hours of sunlight left,
We're probably going to run into goblins then.
maybe.
I think that we should just like start making our way to the cave, and then like Aygir was saying, once it gets to about an hour or two, find somewhere to just stow down for the night.
So basically
Yeah.
go into the wilderness is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But well, yeah, once we have to, because other than that, unless we run into goblins, in which case we can veer off anyway to avoid them if there are too many, or we could fight them if there are only a few.
Exactly. Now, here's a question.
No, I'll pretend to be their crab god. You know, I'll just kind of put this over top my horns and be like, I am the great crab.
That could work.
All right, so if we're doing this though, who do we want to like lead the way? Because Adriel's not good at that, so he would be good at leading through this.
It's anybody. Actually, I'm proficient in survival.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'm not particularly great at it, but I am.
Welcome to the
proficient in
party.
it.
I'm gonna sort of like when we start getting to the bush, I'm gonna say, well, this is what some of my skills lack. Is anyone capable of navigating through this?
Well, I'm not the best at it. It's been a while since. You know it.
Oh yeah,
The
I know very well.
overland guys with the geyser races. Yes, it's been a while, but sun's up there.
Yeah, but you're better at it than I am.
That way. Yeah, I can maybe find this to safety. Hopefully.
All right, well, lead the way, Aygir, and
All right. You
please
all
don't get
step
lost.
off the beaten goblin footpath into the vegetation, past bulb trees and mushroom growths and other sedgy patches that flare up here and there between the rock formations and the hillocks. Aygir, give us a survival check.
Alrighty, watch this be terrible.
you got this.
Not terrible. That's a 16.
16? Okay.
Pretty good.
And confidently, you lead your party for some good jaunt off of the foothill, and you see none other than just minor wildlife as you go. You see some little lizards scamper to the side, some millipede things up in some trees, some kind of bat-type creatures that do these like shrieking calls at one another, a cloud of gnats, some slugs. Nothing that really catches your eye as dangerous or worrisome or out of place. You also steer your party away from any signs of goblin activity or other ill-meaning folk. You come to where presumably looks like a good place to bunker down, get some rest, cook some crab, and do whatever it is that you all would want to do during some respite.
I can tell you what Aygir is doing. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go first. It's all good.
Well, as soon as they actually have set up proper camp for the night, Aygir is going to take out some parchment and a grease pencil and start just initially doodling, but working his way towards a more and more coherent design of a suit of armor, which he's had an idea for since finding that metal of unknown giant origin in that workshop down below the crumble. Yeah. And he'll start just sketching out plans for that, just thinking about stuff.
For Adriel, once we get to the area where we're like bunkering down and putting up a camp for the night, he'll walk over to a Walykos and sort of help get the crab off and like put it down, and Adriel will like start helping to like break it open and get the crab meat out and everything.
Vapor's just going to pick a few herbs
It's a
that he
rather
recognizes.
large crustacean, so you all are working at that, and it looks like you'll have plenty to feast upon. What was that for Vapor?
He's going to pick a few herbs that he recognizes.
Okay, cool. What do you have a kind of skill or a tool that you use with that?
Well, I'm thinking mostly because of his experience with mixing and making potions, he would recognize the herbs that he would need, what are good and healthy, or in what could actually use as a poison.
Okay. Do you have a proficiency with a herbalism kit?
Yeah, I believe so. We agreed on that. I don't have it written down, but I remember having his background as growing up in it, because his mother was pretty much the head potion maker at the village, and he learned everything from her.
So yeah, so it sounds like you've got proficiency with herbalism kit. So make what does this seem like here? Finding wild herbs, like a wisdom maybe? Sounds like it, like survival's wisdom. Yeah, do a wisdom herbalism.
Okay. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Wonderful. Okay, so you take some time while they're preparing the crab meat, and Aygir is working on schematics and theories for this customized suit of armor, and you go and inspect the various fungi and flowers and plants and probably some little bugs and stuff that are nearby, and you are able to find some choice specimen. So why don't you just put this down as like a 50 gold worth of alchemical reagents. So you could use that to make a couple healing potions, or maybe some basic poison, or there might be another type of tincture or concoction you can brew up once you get back to wherever it is that you work on your stuff. The crab meat is delicious. It is quite tasty and succulent, as crabs usually are, and you all eat your fill and are quite satiated. And the sun sinks low in the horizon, and night falls. And let's see, Adriel, you are human. Okay, so there's no trancers, so I imagine you do a shift, take turns taking watch, just in case there's anything going bump in the night.
Aygir will go over to Walykos.
You did complete a short rest, if that matters for anyone. No,
Not yet, anyway. Aygir will go over to Walykos and say, thanks for lugging that thing all the way over here. It tasted pretty good. Why don't I take the first watch? Unless you want to, and he looks over at Vapor.
I'll take it. Just that way I can be done with it.
All right, wake me up when you're done.
I'll take the third watch, unless Walykos, you'd like to take that.
I will take the final watch.
Okay, it's settled then. The weather remains quite pleasant throughout the evening, and there's just this constant, chirpings and dronings of the insects, and off in the distance you hear the bat calls and a gentle breeze. It's really quite pleasant, and you don't need to maintain much of a fire to keep yourself warm overnight. The first watch goes by without incident, as does the second and the third, and by morning time, well, actually, I think Walykos is doing something during your watch. Is that right?
That could be right, depending on what. Yeah, no, it is. I leave that to you, Esper.
Yeah. So why don't you say what it is that you're using here?
Okay. So the Paragon class that Esper created has a class feature called Serendipitous Encounter. and you get this at level 1. It is an ability that when you take a short or long rest, a helpful NPC will appear and give assistance during the rest. And that can be any sort of NPC, from a wise old man, a seeress, whatever fits the scenario. There's a limited amount of stuff that they can do. Basically, they can cast a small spell, give a skill check, give you clues or information. And you get this once per level. So because we're about to level up, I'm using my level 1 before I lose it. So use it or lose it.
Walykos, you are on your watch, and the embers and the little flames are just crackling there, and you're making sure to keep it fed and keeping your eyes peeled and your ears open. And you hear a voice call out to you from beyond the range of your campfire light. Psst. Hey, you there. Hello.
Who goes there? I like hold my dagger.
I mean you no harm. I didn't expect to see anyone here. Is that crab that you're cooking?
That is crab, yes. But
it smells delicious.
show your come out of the bushes so I can see you if you truly mean no harm.
You hear a few very soft footsteps. It seems like someone who's good at moving around without making too much noise.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him open up the hood on a little lantern that has phosphorescent fungus glowing inside, and appears to be an elven fellow. And he was wearing these like long clothing that blends or camouflages in well with the surroundings. So I don't know, is he an outdoorsman or a hunter, or what is he?
Yeah.
And he looks like he has a pack as well, and he appears to be alone. See, it's just me.
What are you doing?
No, I mean you no harm at all. Actually, I'm very curious. It's very rare that I've seen anyone in this region beyond the Kilgills. Where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Christoph, and I am an archivist, explorer, and cartographer.
I see.
A man of ecologies and civics, you could say.
And what exactly is a scholar doing by himself in these dangerous woods?
Well, as it is, I've been doing a bit of research on Chumswick, but I have to go about it in a very delicate fashion as to not rile up the goblins, as they are easily wont of being riled.
What
you haven't happened to have been there ever or recently?
I don't know what Chumswick is that you're referring to.
Okay, well, let's see. The word that they use is avstashtash. Maybe I would translate that into warrens or habitations in the Elvish tongue. Great coastal rock formations with caves hewn out of them, chambers hewn from within, hollowed.
You have a very long way of saying coastal caves.
I don't know that I would call it a cave exactly, though there are some coastal caves in this region. No. The goblin things are elongated, rocky. Well, I don't know. They almost look like thumbs poking up out of the ground, and then the goblins carve and hollow out the centers and create their tunnels and chambers.
So it's like sort of an anthill filled with goblins.
You might think of it such as like a nest, almost to its an aspect.
Like a beehive.
Yes, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yes, I might have to use that. So I had a bit of a problem earlier this morning, and I had to abandon a bit of my gear lest I be seized by the goblins. They nearly spotted me, so I'm rather hungry. I'm quite peckish, and the smell of your crab tantalized me from the brush.
We have more crab meat than we can eat, so you're welcome to.
Thank you. I don't know if I have any actual coinage upon me, but I would be happy to compensate you once I arrive back in Barnacle.
I'm sure we could come to an arrangement. We are from Barnacle. Are you familiar with I thought I wrote down the house name. No, Gintle Jar. What's the house that Adriel's from?
Adriel?
Oh, Sources. Oh no, Sources Flay.
No, Sources Flay is the Wood Elf Guard.
Okay, so it was House
that's right.
House Manteville?
Manteville.
Mm.
Yeah,
I should write that down too.
I feel like somehow that got lost in the.
I won't because Vapor doesn't care.
How do you spell
I'm
it,
gonna
Esper?
actually find out because apparently it got lost in it.
Yeah, I must have forgotten to write it down.
To not bog us in the detail there, I would say present yourself to Gintle Jar of House Mantelville and tell him that Walykos gave you help in the woods, he and Adriel, and I'm sure that we can come to some sort of arrangement, be it a future one or more immediate.
Yes, Manteville, of course. It's an honor to meet you, really. You may call me Christoph. I'm Christoph Dunavor.
Indeed. And you said you are a scholar of some sort.
Well, I don't prefer to use that word because when we think of scholar, it conjures up images of a placid-faced, long-bearded, boring man who sits at a desk all day, in a well-polished, clean room. No, I'm much more of a field researcher myself, archivist by trade.
Whatever word you prefer, an archivist then who goes off alone into the wilderness, risking his life for knowledge.
I don't always go alone, but I just couldn't find anyone that wanted to go and keep tabs on goblin kind, not this time at least.
Being that you are familiar
I've
with
tried mercenaries before, sell swords, but they tend to be brash and rowdy sorts, prone to making a lot of noise. So I needed to be clandestine.
Sometimes traveling in a small group is better than having as many men as you can bring.
Indeed, the Kilgills really are a fascinating tribe. One of the few remaining left of the coastal goblin kin. Typically, the goblin kind are of a steppe folk, but no, this is an ancient bloodline. But there's not many of them left. They've been mostly driven off or defeated by orc clans.
Do you mind if I ask, have you mapped this area by any chance?
Oh, I've been making a number of different maps. They're a bit scattered on different sketches and notes, but
would you mind if
I'm making a coherent whole. Why?
There is a place that we are headed to nearby, and I was wondering if you had a map to show how best we might get there overland.
I could certainly produce one for you here. It would be rough, but it would take you where you want to go. Scrab is delicious, by the way.
Yes, it was freshly caught just earlier today. The bluegills crabs, I'm assuming they have some sort of way they tame these giant crabs.
They do. It is a long-standing profession amongst their people. The Karingetor is the crab lords, crab masters, the crab trainers, we would say. And I can't make heads or tails how it is they are able to train such rudimentary beasts, but they have their way. Where is it that you are seeking, Lord Esper?
The name of it's a coastal. I described to him the place that we're headed.
Okay, the first. So it looks like you're referring to the first in the sequence of coastal caves.
Yes.
Kariak, as the goblins name it.
Do you know if anything lives there? Are goblins inhabiting the cave?
He thinks for a moment. Yes, I do know of a rumor that there are a couple of exiles. Exiles? No, an exile and a hermit that live there. The exile is a foul thing, cursed, a mutant, you might say, deformed, a goblin born with 3 heads, and it considers itself to be 3 people. So, if you were to speak with this being, it's actually speaking with 3 beings. They are the Muck, Shuck, and Burr. A monstrous thing, ill-tempered. It was exiled to Quariok some time ago. And then there was another fellow, also an odd case. He wasn't exiled. He was not well favored. He prefers a hermit type existence. What did they name him? Edgar, yes, Edgar. He actually bears more dwarfish blood than pure goblin. He as well has this sort of horny growths from his head. Not quite the same as yours, but if you do see a dwarf, goblin-like dwarf, a bearded thing with large horns, you've seen him. Yes.
Interesting. Well, I thank you for that information that you offer.
Yes, he hasn't lived in Chumswick for some time, mind you, so I can't confirm if he's even still alive, though from what I know, he was formidable, vicious, mad, a mad one, reclusive. He doesn't. I don't know. He had there was some sort of problem, some incident that occurred, and he just couldn't stand living in the hive anymore.
Interesting. This will be helpful to us. We appreciate your knowledge and hopefully your discretion on this meeting. Were we to meet again in the city, I'm sure another opportunity would arise that we could present either yourself an opportunity or you could present to us. Perhaps we could help you in some manner.
That is very well could be. If you intend on visiting Kariak, and perhaps there's something that you could find in there that I've never been inside of it personally.
Being an archivist, I'm sure you would be very interested in hearing any information, any knowledge or tale that we could bring back.
Oh, yes, indeed, I would. Here you are. And he holds up a piece of like a small strip of parchment. Okay, so if you follow along the coastline proper, you're going to eventually hit some cliffs, and they're very difficult to bypass on foot. But they do come later beyond the cliffs onto this larger beach here. Removed from it slightly is Chumswick. I've noted it here by these circle markings. And then beyond that, again, you'll hit a number of cliffs and rocky patches, is best avoided. And then beyond that, you will come to the first in the series of coastal caves, the one which the goblins have named as Karyak. Here is the goblin footpath that will take you on the higher ridges, bypassing the precarious cliffs. Goblins do regularly go upon this footpath, so keep that in mind. They are savage things, though not without a reason of a sort. I've communicated with them on rare occasions and approached the situation. How can I say this? Strategically, never alone, always with strength in numbers. If they see an opportunity, they are likely to seize upon it.
But if they see a threat that would be too great, they're more willing to perhaps bargain.
It's possible, yes. I mean, they are not completely devoid of all intelligence. No,
I've found
more
that
rudimentary
enlightened
than elven folk, of course, but yes, one needs not always go running into the fury of the vanguard, especially when the target ahead is a colony of an entire goblin tribe. They are kill Gil after all.
I've found that most beings, whether they goblin, elf, or anything in between, are governed by enlightened self-interest. If it is against their self-interest, they will perhaps choose a different course. We will.
Well said. Very well said. Yeah. If you choose to forego completely the coastal areas, and the footpath, it's going to be slow going, a bit rough with the hummocks and the growths, but it's doable. Look at me now. Let's see. There are some dangerous wildlife out here, argongs and nicuses from time to time. Albeit it is a low chance, there is always a chance of orcish raiders. The orcs have had bad blood between the goblin kin for some time. And they claim to be the rulers of the coast once you get far removed from Barnacle.
Ideally, should we run into any of those greater threats, we would try to avoid them. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Orcs have within their company Skoroks.
Skoroks?
Yes. They hate the goblin kind, for they view them as weaklings riding atop what they call the little crabs, the small ones. Skoroks are far larger, far more powerful, vicious things. Ill-begotten demon crabs.
Well, we'll be sure to avoid those.
Yes, nothing short of a knight, I think, should be suitable to combat a Skorok or forbid an orcish screamer riding atop one as a mount.
And it is not our intention to get ourselves killed here. I thank you for your warnings. You're welcome to spend the night, take what meat that you wish if you choose to continue on. That we have to spare, of course. We've set aside some for ourselves.
I could doze for a spell. Yes, I'm worn down.
Well, I am keeping watch for another.
I have a brush with potential death.
I'm keeping watch until morning's light, in about an hour and a half from now. You're welcome to catch some shut-eye.
I appreciate that. Might I have your name, Master of Mantavale?
I forgot. I thought I had given it. I am Walykos.
Walykos. I shall remember that. And seek me out, if you will. I put on the back of the map there where you might find me.
Indeed. As I said, you can seek us out once we are back in Barnacle. We run a small business of bird selling. We're actually hoping to find some rather exotic birds in our coastal travels.
Oh, you're those Mantavales, the Mantavale Bird Company.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Well, it's settled then. And again, thank you.
Of course. I will keep watch the
He
rest
takes
of the night.
a little nap, just a quick doze by the embers, and then wakes up, stuffs some more crab meat into his cheek. I'll be on my way. It was a delight coming across you.
Of course. Be safe in your travels, Christopher.
Likewise. Christoph.
Christoph. My apologies.
Yes, but I once had an ancestor by the name of Christopher. Yes.
I am clearly
staring into glowing crystals in which he could see illusory images that had sound and movement.
Well, that sounds like a wondrous thing. Tell me more of your stories once we have a chance to properly sit and eat again and drink in a more appropriate setting.
There'll be time for that. And with that, he pulls up a hood, and he appears much more like a bush at this point, and saunters off into...
He's got his own ghillie suit.
Saunters off into the early morning gloom.
Nice. All right. Well, you guys can wake up it's the end of the shifts, so I slept most of the night, but you guys,
Do we wake up
Vapor
with
slept pretty much all of the night because he took first shift.
do we wake up with like a glowing white light as we level up to 2?
It does seem that way, and then you realize it's just the sun rising.
Walykos is like literally just shining a light in your face.
So you all have reached second level. What happens at second level? What's going on with your characters?
Who do we start with? Go.
I'll go first.
I can.
Oh,
So Vapor has gained one more level. A level 1 spell slot has, so he's up to 3, and has access to sorcerer points through his. Give me a second, I want to make sure I'm getting it. Font of Magic. Well, as well, gaining 7 more hit points. Yeah, so I have 2 sorcery points, 3 level 1 spell slots, 4 cantrips, and 15 hit points.
Nice. All right, I'll go next. Well, I am not a spellcaster, so I don't get any spell slots, unfortunately, but I do get a cunning action, so now I can disengage, dash, or hide as a bonus action. And I also got hit points. I'm at 21 hit points because I rolled very well on my dice.
Wow, 21. Awesome.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 on my D8, so it's great.
I guess I'll go. Walykos has gotten to level 2, and with that came 2 new features for him, as well as I rolled maximum on my hit points, so I have 22 hit points. Sorry to outdo you, Adriel.
Wow! Way to one up me, Walykos.
Yeah,
I thought
literally,
we were
Literally one up to you.
I thought we were bird watchers together, bird sellers. Wow. Okay, I see how it is.
Well, okay then. So my abilities, one of them is to increase an ability score that is below 14 by 2. It's basically a Paragon ability to kind of round the character out. So I removed some of the penalty from one of my ability scores, which was very low. It was a 6, a bad roll, and I moved it up to an 8, which is kind of the intention of this particular class feature.
Which ability score was it?
It was my intelligence. I had to put it somewhere.
I now see Walykos in a whole new light.
Hey, he's no longer stupid.
Walykos, this is an A, not a Z. Walykos.
All his other mental stats are great. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the big
My
thing.
name is Walykos, but they call me Wawa.
Please, yes, this is how Walykos has to talk now.
I hate you all. All right. Walykos, the big thing is a second level Paragon. All Paragons get that ability, and they also get what are called Wonders, which are kind of the core class feature of being a Paragon. Wonders are similar to invocations that a Warlock gets, in that their abilities, they're supernatural and also extraordinary.
But they're not explicitly magic, though.
If your DM thinks that they're not explicitly magic, yes, they're not. It's whatever your DM says, like, honestly.
They're made to where you could make a Paragon that is nothing magic at all.
Yeah.
It's just pure heroics and extraordinary stuff. Some are like, there's something supernatural going on. And then there are some that really do get access to magical things.
I was about to say, if your spear goes on fire when you throw it and it hits something, that's probably some magic going on. Unless you like, you could justify, maybe you oil up your spear.
I could do it.
Yeah.
You threw it so hard that the friction in the air just caused it to ignite.
Fire Genasi. Fire Genasi.
Anyways, I'm not going to take up any more time. I picked 2 wonders. One's called Satyr's Ploy. You'll have to see it in action when it comes around. And the other is called Tread the Path of Blades. So those are my 2. Whenever I level up, I can swap one in and out, kind of like how invocations can. And I get more of them at certain key levels.
I think it's really cool you picked Satyr's Ploy.
That's a very good one.
It was a good one, and it also was very fitting. So...
All right, so as a second level Artificer, I only have one new feature, but it is my class's core feature, which is Infuse Item, where I can now essentially create a limited set of magic items, sort of. I also get this many more hit points, which happens to be below the average, so that means per your house rule, I'll take the average, so 5 plus Constitution. So I now have 17 hit points. I'm not quite as beefy as you guys.
Why? I don't like that. I have the second highest hit points because I'm not supposed to be in the front line. I'm a rogue.
You're D8, right?
You can go up there. Vapor's never supposed to be on the front lines.
Right.
Just look at it this way: when you inevitably get targeted by 100 arrows, you'll survive.
You have a better chance to survive.
Don't you dare bring up that.
I put that evil on you.
So out of curiosity,
Can we treat them all as like one big arrow? And I can what's that?
It is the second session
for half damage.
Please, DM, pretty please. Please,
what are Aygir's infusions?
Okay. So he can infuse up to 2 items at once, but he knows a total of 4 infusions. Said infusions are Enhanced Defense, Enhanced Arcane Focus, Enhanced Weapon, and Replicate Magic Item. Those first 3 are all kind of just standard stuff. They give you +1 things. But Replicate Magic Item actually gives him a list of magic items from the book that he can create, such as a bag of holding or a cap of water breathing.
Excellent. Well, your versatility and thereby your strength has just grown by leaps and bounds.
No, my strength hasn't. It's still 10.
What spell did Vapor learn? Or did he unlock?
The way I see it, it's more like because he has genie blood in him, that it unlocked the ability to detect magic.
Very, very helpful one. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. So you all feel reinvigorated, rejuvenated, emboldened, and the new day stretches ahead of you, full of great possibility and perhaps great danger.
And when Aygir completed the rest, he was fiddling around with his scale armor and his a small hammer from his smith's tools set, and those 2 items are slightly glinting a little bit more in the sun than those things might normally do.
Sounds like they have been infused.
They have indeed been enhanced, as it happens, yes.
Okay, so looks like you have a couple of different ways you can approach the cave. You could continue along the coast, though that will pose some dangers of its own. You can continue along the Goblin Footpath. Again, will pose some dangers of its own. Or trek through the undergrowth and up and down the hills, which, of course, will have its challenges. Is there one that you prefer?
Are you telling us that there's no perfectly safe option? What?
Well,
I mean, we could play
give him a
Boring
fourth
Town if we
option.
want.
We could give him a fourth
Yeah.
option.
Did you give the option when you said that? Did you tell us the one that Walykos knew about from
Well,
his?
he gave me these options, I thought.
Oh, he gave you these options. Oh, I see.
Basically, there's
Gotcha.
no perfect, the goblins are between us and the caves, is kind of what I feel like is what I'm hearing. We have to go around them. We can either go this way around them, we can go that way around them, we can take the path that, skirts by.
Which way would get us to like a higher elevation around them? Because I feel like taking that way would probably be best.
Probably the
highest
goblin
elevation. Path. The highest elevation would be found off of the path, where you're just going through the undergrowth and up the hills and rock formations and such. It would be rough, slow going, perhaps wild animals.
Okay.
But yeah, the goblins don't typically go that way.
So the fourth option is we need to clearly fashion surfboards and surf down the coast till we get to the cave. Esper, what's the skill for surfing again? No,
let's go for it. It's got to be something to do with
acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Yeah, Adriel's probably good at surfboarding.
I could see acrobatics, or I could also see water.
Not in my D&D game. There will be no surfing.
All right. Well, Adriel will propose well, I think that although it might be a bit harder to go through the underbrush, it seems to be the safest option. Gets us at a higher elevation, but I'm open to different ideas.
It would behoove us to stay hidden from any prying eyes.
Well, that's not necessarily true. We could run into some creatures, some orcs or something in the woods.
That's true. That's true. If we do take more of a normal path, I'm happy to scout ahead as well to make sure no one finds us.
So good of you to offer this now. Although, where were you last night?
The same place that we all were.
Fair. Well, yes, it certainly would be good for us to find a clear path on the beach.
So, I have a question for you all. Now that we have fought the Kilgills, right?
Kilgills.
I think that's what they were called.
Now that we have fought them once, I did not feel threatened in the number that we encountered. Were we to encounter more, we may succeed, we may fail. I feel more confident today that we would probably succeed against the same number, even more so. Should we perhaps risk taking the fast path, hoping that goblins are not traveling it, and going into the woods? Should we scout a goblin coming along the path? I don't think the goblins would lie in ambush on their own path. They'd probably just be using it to quickly move back and forth.
That is well said. I was about to suggest similar. I think if we were to fight the same number as yesterday, I think we would crush them.
You've learned from your experiences.
Yes. Plus, using the path would allow us to have the advantage of the wilderness for hiding close by should we encounter goblins too great in number for us to easily overcome.
Assuming they don't lie in ambush for us.
If they lie in ambush for us, well, we would have to either be ambushed or perhaps retreat. Perhaps a retreat in that case would be the smart move, to regroup, draw them out of their comfortable ambush onto the main path. We can move very quickly on the path. If they're trying to come after us, they would have to come out onto the path to pursue.
Well, yes, I'm in agreement with that. I certainly was going to say that any extra time taken today is best time spent clearing out the cave of whatever might be in there.
Well, I told you there are 2 exiles or mad folk. Well, I suppose you could count it as 4 if you count the 3 heads. as 3 different. But perhaps there's some way we could play them to our advantage.
Both ends against the middle. Yes.
Well,
if one truly thinks he's 3 people,
I meant the 3 against the one insane one. There are 2 different beings, bodies, 2 different bodies, and the 3 are not going to kill themselves because they share one body.
Either way, this sounds like something we could walk and talk about.
Yes, for myself, I am actually quite interested to see if we cut off one head, do the others stay alive or die?
Once again, walk and talk.
It's quite a morbid game.
At Aygir's mention of walking and talking, Vapor's just going to pack up like the rest of his stuff and just start walking down the trail.
Wow.
So we're going down the quicker way. That's what we're deciding on?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask a question, Esper? The crab from yesterday, are there big enough shell pieces that could be fashioned either like for some sort of shield, tower shield, whatever sort of, like if I need to, can I use a hard chitin shell? I want to take like the giant top piece of the crab, basically. Okay. So
all right,
just keep that in your mind.
Yep. All right, so you've got the big top piece of the crab, the big shell.
Yeah, the one piece that comes off. Yeah.
All right. You have the carapace. I imagine it's just the carapace by itself, and then
I don't want to carry everything. Yeah, we take the meat.
Maybe you might like work with it and add something to it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll sell if nothing else.
Oh yeah. So you all catch up with Vapor, and you're making your way down the footpath here. It's a bit narrow. It's made for goblins, but it's not that big of a deal. As here and there you brush up against the vegetation, or you have to go maybe single file to get through some narrower bits. Everybody make a perception check.
That's not very good. I got a 10. My passive perception is 13, though. That matters.
I only got a 9.
I only have 7. That absent-mindedness is really affecting.
Oh, wow. Did any of us roll?
Aygir rolled well. Hey. He rolled very well. He rolled as well as he could possibly roll. He has a 23.
Nice.
Aygir, you have saved.
And probably won't ever see that 20 on that die again.
I mean, you say he saved us, but
I haven't saved anybody yet.
Aygir, you hear the sound of several goblin voices and footfalls, and you hear it at a distance. It sounds like a lot of them.
To the trees now.
All right. We get
just go.
Yeah, like we just die. Run into the bushes.
Vapor. That includes you too, Vapor.
Yeah. When
Vapor gets pulled into the bushes.
Yeah, when Aygir says that, I'll immediately hide. Just immediately go into hiding.
And taking a note from the archivist from the other day, I pull the shell over top and put leaves over top of it and use it as a lid that I kind of crouch in if I can find a ditch or something to lie in.
Can I roll stealth?
So Walykos, make a survival check.
Sure. Survival's wisdom, right?
Yeah, wisdom survival.
13.
13. Okay. So you find as quick as you can, because you don't have a bunch of time, but you find what you can of leaves, vegetation, a little area. So this is going to give you advantage on your stealth check.
I can always use that.
And so everyone's going to roll stealth, and if you have any little trick like Walykos did, let me know. And it's a little bit of a risk, but
I actually hold on. I have a I didn't right now. I have a black cloak. I don't know if that would help.
At nighttime, it certainly would.
Maybe not in the day. I don't know. Just throwing it
Well,
out.
the fact that you have a cloak at all could be useful because the whole point of a ghillie suit is to make a single sort of like profile of
Right.
what they're seeing is
Yeah.
one thing, rather than like a person has weird, different shades.
Yeah, let me see
Right.
what it's called. It says that I have. I'm sorry. It's not a cloak. I'm sorry. It's basically a cloak. It's a dark common clothes, including a hood. So I have like a hood that I can like put over, and I don't know if that would help.
I don't think just the clothes you wear particularly gives advantage on stealth. If that's
You
true,
need to
like
do
every
something
rogue
more,
in
so.
D&D ever
Okay.
would have advantage on
So,
stealth.
That's fine. That's fine. I was just
what kind of
Okay.
plants?
No one had any other bright ideas quick enough. So
Vapor's just
I'll-
diving into a ditch somewhere to
Okay.
get down low.
I will say Adriel will make sure that he's hiding away from the party because he doesn't trust that everyone else is going to be good at it. So
What kind of plants? What kind of plants did they pass by? And did they pass by anything that smelled bad? Like bad enough you'd want to avoid it. if
You want some skunk weed? I get it.
There are a variety of bushes, grasses, sedges, trees, and large fungus things. None of them particularly smelled bad. No.
Oh, that. Wait,
All
is there
right.
any that are that would be mildly poisonous? Because that just gave me an idea.
Yeah, but you get an idea
There's
from Aygir.
a number of different things that are poisonous if ingested.
Okay,
Vapor
Vapor's
jumps
going to
into
dive
like a
by those then.
Vapor
Right.
dives into a poisonous weed
So,
and then he gets poisoned.
It uses the crab shell and leaves and a little depression in the ground. Vapor dives into some like patch of poisonous mushrooms and stalk things. Adriel gets away from the party, and Aygir does what?
He didn't have much time to do much when he made sure everybody got in there, but he had just enough to grab a branch to cover himself over and cast a magical tinkering on it to make it smell like a plant.
I'm imagining Aygir with
Just
like a
hide
brand-
your own scent. For
So
anybody
you're
that passes
trying
over
to hide
10 feet
yourself.
anyway.
Yeah. Sure. Hiding in case there's scenting beasts. All right, so a lot of you do that, and then a couple moments later, you all start hearing these goblin voices and feet, and whoever speaks goblin, which I know Aygir does,
Vapor knows it as well.
I don't
Vapor as
think
well.
so, dude.
They are quite obviously very pissed off that some of their fellow tribesfolk were killed yesterday.
Oh, this is perfect.
And
They're
this is like a
going
war
back.
band. They're like a war band on, roving, looking for the killers.
Well, that's great. They're headed back to where we were, and we're going to pass them by.
Bastards! We're gonna flay the skin from their bones and chew their meat. I will use their guts for garters. So they're quite acidic blooded and vile tongued, infuriated goblins here.
Vitriolic,
Do we
bellicose,
need to roll
Vitriolic,
stealth?
bellicose goblins.
militant.
It's a very large war band here. Like they rallied the troops.
Well, that's good. That means there's going to be less on the path in front of us.
All right. None of us need to fail stealth. We just all need to pass.
And you see them start to walk by where you all are hiding, and their skins are these motley shades of blues, teals, greens, and even some pale colorations mixed in there. Ugly little things with ill aspects to them, cobbled together, clothes and armor and bits of scrappy weapons. A couple of them do look a little bit bigger and tougher and have some better gear. You also see that mage one that ran away. I'm going to do the stealth checks one at a time here to keep things organized. So I'm just going to go the way I see you all clockwise on my screen. Aygir, dexterity, stealth.
You can do it.
With advantage for hiding or no?
Walykos is the only one that has advantage because he took a risk. If he would have failed that, he would have had disadvantage.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, stealth. Regular flat stealth. That is not terrible, but not particularly great.
This is the session
14.
I guys.
14, okay.
14.
Vapor.
It's okay. We just made it to level 2. I'm sure we'll all die. It'll be fine.
14.
Also 14. Walykos
So,
with advantage.
I was just wondering, so that Vapor diving into the poisonous plants where they don't want to go to wouldn't give them advantage?
I got a
Advantage
24.
on hiding? No. But maybe that will
Okay.
factor into where goblins would go near or not near.
I got a 24 stealth with advantage.
Excellent.
Nice.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Adriel.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Adriel.
Got a 26.
I would like to make him re-roll that.
No, I have +8 to stealth, so I'm a rogue. This is what I do.
Yeah, expertise is real nice.
Yeah.
Okay, those are all good rolls. Goblins are not particularly wise or perceptive keen things, and they just go plodding along this massive warband that's like 4 times as large as the force that you saw yesterday, and they trample as they go along.
I almost feel like they're at a disadvantage because there's so many of them. Their own noise that they're making by traveling kind of mask any little sounds, like if a twig snapped or something. It probably would just not be heard.
And their troop passes by, this goblin band that is out for blood. Excellent. You all have achieved a milestone.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Excellent.
I'm not proud. I'll hide in the bushes and get my milestones.
How many were there exactly? Do you actually have a number? I'm curious.
Oh, I'm sure he had a random number.
I can tell you.
And some of them were bigger too, so I'm just curious.
You counted 35 in total.
Okay, good thing that none of us failed, because that one person who failed, we're not coming out. We're gonna say it. It's just like, oh boy, that guy's getting beat up by 35 goblins. I mean, could help.
that's when it's time to run. Like,
Right.
honestly, you go into a chase sequence and try to escape.
You're on vapor.
All right, so Aygir at least is certainly waiting a decent bit until after that passed, just to make sure there are no stragglers, and it's kind of looking around at the rest of them as if to suggest, don't get up yet.
Oh yeah, Adriel's gonna wait for a good while too.
When does it become apparent that there are no more?
Well, if you want, you can wait like several minutes, or you tell me, because the band is passed, and so you don't see any stragglers, but maybe Vapor doesn't have the patience to wait.
Vapor doesn't have the patience. He'll give it like 2 minutes, and then he's going to get up. And as he's getting up, he's going to pick a couple of the poison mushrooms and stuff them into his bag, thinking of stuff already.
When Adriel sees Vapor get up after only 2 minutes, he's just sort of gonna like quietly shake his head, like, "Oh, you idiot."
Well, he's gonna. Those 2 minutes are after he can't hear them anymore. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So as soon as he can't hear them, he gives them like a few extra minutes, and then up.
Adriel will stay down.
The Vapor's had enough of this. He gets out of the fungus patch, grabs a couple of the poisonous in the sense of like they taste disgusting and they would make you sick if you ate them.
Yeah.
And you stuff those in a bag, and do you just go walking like to hell with the rest of your party?
He's gonna look over where Aygir's at because he can see where Aygir's at, and he goes, "Well, are we going?"
It's all right. We can go now. You other two coming with us?
You look for us, and like we're both like above 20 stealth.
Yeah, like
checks.
you can't. Yes, like,
He doesn't care about the other two. The only guy he really knows is Aygir, so he only cares about.
I imagine like a trapdoor spider, like the little lid like rises off my little hiding spot, and I just like slowly like rise up, look, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Nice job there.
I imagine.
You coming with us?
Yeah, I imagine for Adriel, like you guys just see him just sort of like appear out of the like foliage, like you had like no idea where he was. He's just like looks around as well.
I honestly imagine you were hugging the back of a tree off the ground, like above the ground level. So most people's eyes are looking ground level. You just kind of like slide down the tree and like come back. Yeah.
That's even better. Yeah, I like it. I sort of like wiped myself up, like, had myself off from all the foliage. It's like, all right, well, good thing they passed us by.
Yes.
Get into that fight.
Pay attention.
Yes, thank you, Aygir.
Let's not stumble upon anything else like that.
Well, you were the one that spotted it, so continue to do what you were doing.
Aygir, you heard them, you perceived them at a really nice distance that gave you all sufficient time to hide yourselves.
Well, next time I might not.
Otherwise, it would have been like,
well,
oh shit, they're right in front of us.
Right.
Try to continue doing what you're doing.
So Vapor, as Vapor's going, he's casting. I want to say it's prestidigitation. Yeah, to clean off his clothing of any of the extra fungus and stuff and dirt.
Yeah, you get yourself, cleaned up as like this invisible brush down and fanning and maybe a little perfume. I don't know if perfume's the right word for it, but clearing away any bad scents. And you all continue along the footpath. What order do you walk in? I'm just curious.
I think that Aygir and Adriel would be in front, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Walykos and Vapor in the back. Seems fine.
It's like Aygir, Adriel, Walykos, Vapor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're walking on the goblin footpath. Again, vegetation on both sides. Some, plant life and some fungal things. And there's different elevation changes, and it's all natural terrain, of course. And you pass around this bend, and there is one goblin, and it's a short goblin girl, and her helmet, she has like this crab carapace helmet thing with spikes on it, and it's too big for her, and she's doing her best to like keep it on, and her tongue's hanging out, and she's like trying to hold up her little javelin thing on her other hand and just not even paying attention, like trying to catch up with the rest of the group, and just slams right into Aygir and falls down.
I pull out my rapier.
Rick, what do you do?
So
I immediately
what kind of a helmet is this?
All right, Adriel pulls out the rapier.
What kind of a helmet is it? Does it have an
Crab
open
carapace.
or closed face piece?
Open.
Okay, he bends down and just slaps a hand over her mouth.
And then Adriel, as Aygir does that, Adriel stabs her.
No, and as Adriel tries to stab her, Walykos interposes because he knows what Adriel's going to do. He grabs your. He tries to grab your wrist. I'm not going to roll for it unless you force your way through, and then we'll roll.
I will not force my way through, but
you can if you want to. I just want to. I'm not like God-bodying taking your action away.
Yeah,
you can narratively play it out that Walykos stops you, or you can actually do an opposed check.
I'm putting a hand on your hand, and you can choose to hesitate, or you can choose to try and force.
I think in this instance, I'll say do an opposed check because I feel like you might not have had time to do it right away.
Walykos, make a strength athletics check. And Adriel, you can do strength athletics or dex acrobatics, your choice.
I'll do dex acrobatics.
Nat 20 on the die here.
I got a 15, so.
All right, so you go to run her through, and Walykos grabs your arm or your wrist and stays your blade.
I imagine like the rapier is just like right on her like forehead, like a little bit of blood trickles down.
I also would like Aygir to make a strength athletics check.
Oh boy, athletics,
indeed.
Or perhaps
you're attempting a grapple.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It makes sense.
All right, time for a hopefully good roll because it's flat. That's it's an 18.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
Wow. This
and
guy
she is trying to wriggle free and does not have anything better than that.
Vapor seeing that we've taken a prisoner. Like readies this storm bolt on his fingertips and presses it against her head, giving her.
So there's just like a rapier here, magic here.
I feel like Walykos is like trying to
wide with terror. And
then speaking in Goblin, he's going to tell her, I would recommend you stop before I grow bored and release the spell.
Stop.
Aygir turns around. Have you all taken leave of your senses? Are we in the business of killing children? Is that what we do? Is that what you do?
It's a goblin idea. It's
And
a
then he
goblin
looks-
eye again. It might alert the others. Do you really want to fight
Everyone.
45 of them?
Calm down. There is no need to act rashly. We have the situation in hand.
See,
As I point
this
out.
one gets it. We don't kill children. And he looks at the girl and says, if you scream, I will not stop them.
We don't kill children, but we will kill you if you scream.
Well, that's pretty much what Vapor
You're-
told her.
You're muffling this goblin girl just at a glance. She, like in goblin years, is probably something adolescent, so not exactly a little kid, but not a full grown adult either. Whatever, it's goblin. And you all have given her sufficient threats, and she's like, peeing her small cloths and like hyperventilating, and her eyes are bugging out.
Is she not? She's not speaking though. Like she's quiet now.
She's totally muffled by Aygir.
Okay. With what Walykos said, like I will remove my blade so it's not just like on her forehead anymore, and look to Walykos and say, "Don't know if I agree with letting her live. She could get away and alert the others."
Well,
Give
with
me
the way
a
she is
moment.
right now, her heart could explode just from fear. So you might not have to worry about that.
Give me but a moment to see if there can be a way to negotiate. We have done a disservice to this tribe. We do not intend to go into this situation of hostility with them. Perhaps we can de-escalate things before they get even worse.
Agreed.
Killing her would certainly seal any sort of blood feud that these goblins would have with us. Who knows? We may come back here at a later time. To be able to not have to fight them would be more useful.
Indeed.
Adriel.
You don't mince words. I don't suppose you speak her tongue.
No, I
do
don't.
not.
I do not speak
Well,
goblin.
I can translate, but perhaps you should do the talking.
I will give you the words to say to her. Goblin girl, tell me,
Goblin girl.
what is your name?
What is your name?
Yeah,
I mean, he lifts his hand when he does that.
I'm Jelly Belly. That's why they call me. Don't kill me.
I
Yes,
promise
that can be arranged.
that we will not harm you if you can perhaps answer a few
I
questions.
promise we will not harm you if you can answer a few questions.
Okay, whatever you want to know, I'll tell you.
I understand that a war band passed by here.
Passed by here.
So you're saying it right after me is throwing me off.
Assume that continues. I don't need to actually do it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. A war band passed by here not long ago. They are hunting for those that killed some of their former tribe. I regretfully inform you that we are those that they seek, but we do not wish to continue fighting with your tribe. Is there some means that we might offer a truce or a parley with them?
I don't rightly know. You should talk to Big Claw.
Adriel will like sort of look to Walykos and say, "Walykos, I don't think a child is going to know exactly how
She
to
is
deal with
going
these
to-
men."
She is going to deliver the message for us then, where we might perhaps parley. I suggest that we have her, we take her with us a certain ways till the path has been cleared, and then we let her go after the warband so that she might catch up to them.
But catch up to them slowly. Yes. I like the way you think.
Yes. That way we do not have to kill her. We show them that we show mercy. We could have killed her. And perhaps we can set up a meeting at the beach where the incident happened before in, say, 3 days 5 days, a week's time, where we may perhaps deal and offer a truce to them.
Well, you're going to have to do the talking again, but that is a sound plan.
They have no reason to accept a truce. They're going to come probably for revenge. But if this buys us time, we may be able to further negotiate if we gain more allies or more power by then.
I'm going to sheath my rapier and say, I don't necessarily disagree with your plan, but I don't think that goblins, no offense, Aygir, are intelligent enough to understand the idea of a truce.
Adriel,
I'm not offended. Not to brag, but I know a few more things than.
No, I definitely understand that. You're actually quite intelligent for one.
Perhaps I should put this in a way that I know you will agree with Adriel. There is very little to gain by killing her right now. By keeping her alive, perhaps you will confuse the enemy or buy us more time in a way that we can capitalize upon, and then you'll be able to dispatch them in a better way, at a better opportunity.
And I don't know if you are religious, but I am sure you can do without the weight on your soul of having just, murdered a child this morning just for fun.
I'll look down at the child and sort of say, all I see is a goblin, Aygir.
Well, I suppose that's where you and I differ. And he looks in a way that looks like there is some malice.
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
words.
No, I know. Well, so I want to point out, Adriel doesn't dislike you, right? Because you're actually intelligent, but most goblins he seems as they're not really the most smart things in the world. They're just monsters.
Yeah.
To make it pretty horrible, I just have to say you've subhumanized them.
I know. This is Adriel, not me.
That's fine. It's Adriel. I just want to make it clear that none of the players are cool with it. It's just the character.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Adriel just sees the goblin as a monster. Basically, it's like kill it, But anyways, with this, Adriel will sort of get down and pull out some rope and just start tying her up so that she can't escape, basically, and also taking all her weapons and armor off. So.
Does she know if there's another warband coming down this path? Can she tell us? Aygir.
Good.
I didn't hear part of it.
Is there another one?
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Plan. I heard of this.
What was that?
She said she didn't hear word of any such plan.
But that doesn't answer that she knows necessarily. She might be trying to lie to us. Is there an insight check that we can make to see if she's lying?
Go for it.
All right.
Can we all do that, or
What language is she
Who
speaking?
understands Goblin can?
also
Okay,
only
yeah, all
Aygir and Vapier? Yeah.
Even if you don't understand the language, I feel like there are certain tells when you're lying.
Right.
What about we could do it with disadvantage?
That sounds about right. If I'm wrong, I'm not running.
Okay, if you think so, I think that there's certain tells when someone's lying that.
But it is
regardless-
harder. But it is harder.
regardless-
I understand.
Yeah,
What
honestly,
kind of tell would you be looking for?
well, has anyone here seen Lie to Me, the show? No? Okay, well, then that's pointless. Basically, words just confuse you. It's the body language. You look for the facial expression. The eyes go certain ways. I'm not going to get into the science of it.
Out,
Yeah,
panic, packing, barely being able to hold it together, pissing her pants.
That's fine, but when she answers a question, she has to think of the answer. And if she has to lie, she thinks of a lie.
You
to
can make an insight check to read the body
That's-
language.
Yeah,
But you didn't hear her.
which Aygir is translating for me what she said, and I will use that with what I'm observing to put the pieces together. So, let's see. That's going to be...
Well, Vapor has a 19 on his insight check.
Yeah, I only got a 10.
Okay, would Aygir also be able to, since he's actually hearing the words?
Yeah, why not?
Well, nope.
Okay.
Not with that one, or sorry, 2. One becomes a 2.
All right. Walykos got what again?
I got a 10. Vapor got a
Vapor got
19.
19. I have proficiency in insight, so that's
I guess I'll do it too. I have -1, 10. Yeah.
All right. So Vapor and Aygir, you believe her. Nothing strikes you as seeming like a bluff or a ploy. And then her body language is certainly, terrified out of her wits.
She's trying to survive.
Just be
Yeah.
doing what she can to say what limited things she knows.
So she told us that there's no warband coming. No more warband.
That she heard about. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
With that,
yeah.
Adriel, like once we like discover that and like we know that we're gonna just take her with us for a bit, he's just gonna like basically like after tying her hands up like behind, like with like a rope to like hold on to her, he's just gonna like lift her up and then just start walking and say, "All right, let's get going. I'll keep an eye on her." And then like sort of
probably gag her just so that if we do run into another group, she doesn't immediately give us away.
Oh yeah, I assume that I did that too. Yeah.
Don't assume.
That's true. That's a good
Esper,
point. Yeah.
Assuming in an Esper game.
No. That's a good point.
Never assume with Esper.
Yeah. I'll also put gag. I'll also gag. Yeah.
I love how I have some sort of infamy.
Yeah, I'll also gag her and like.
If you will, Adriel, she'll walk 2 paces in front of me. You sort yourself out.
Okay.
You know, there are some who would think a bastard half-breed like you is a monster too. Just food for thought.
At least I'm not a monster.
Because humans are half-breed.
I know, yeah, humans are half-breed.
Yeah.
I want to clarify that. Sorry,
I think we should leave off on calling each other monsters until perhaps we are back safely within the city.
Then we can see how monstrously this one attacks a water pipe, huh?
You and your dumb smokes.
Adriel will hand over the rope to Aygir.
This is a
take it.
You bound and gagged Jelly Belly, and you walk down the footpath a ways more. And the time comes that you determine, now let's turn her loose, and you instruct her to go along. Don't run, just relax and walk along.
Like basically, I imagine we probably gave like an hour, half an hour of walking.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
So
you put a buffer zone of time.
Yeah, because even if she runs,
you tell her to go take word to her tribe kin of a parlay at that beach encounter location in 1 week's time with your party, and that you're sending her as a, what did you call it there? A show of faith.
Good faith, yeah.
A demonstration that you're not operating under murderous.
I wanted to tell her it is a regretful incident that we had to slay the kin of yours, but they attacked us when they were threatening us to take our lives or our things.
She's gonna spit out such a half-remembered version of this. Like,
yeah.
I met the people who attacked us, and they said that they attacked you, and you'll regret attacking them again.
I mean, it's possible, but honestly, I'm looking at this from this is just going to buy us time. Even
out of character, I think it's a good idea. Yeah, like out of character.
I don't. And I don't really want to just.
I think we got the idea here.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll an intelligence check on her behalf just to see how well she remembers.
Nat 20 at Esper.
Or is this going to be like the telephone game? And
yeah,
by the time she gets there, it's all completely.
Well, it's even crazier, right? Because it's Walykos being translated to Goblin and then going to so it's like crazy.
Okay, so Jelly Belly goes on her way, and you go on your way.
Secretly, Adriel stays back and shoots her with a crossbow. It's like Adriel's just like, I gotta go use the bathroom for a second.
All right.
I'm not actually doing that, but no.
So yeah, we'll figure out this names topic that I'm seeing here in the comments later. I think we should continue forward.
Yeah.
So you all continue along, and after a couple hours time, you are coming to this this ridge where on the other side there is a slope going down to a large, long stretching beach, or you could stay up there and keep going along this this pathway. Along the beach, you are seeing this goblin settlement, which was referred to as Chumswick by archivist Christoph. And these are what the goblin
The anthills,
we might call them, look like. Yeah. Rock formations that they've made these tunnels and chambers in.
Kind of remind me of like a termite, like what they build.
Mm-hmm. You're seeing this at a distance. The beach stretches on really far, so it stretches farther than just where these rock formations are. And, you know, way far past the beach, you'll see these coastal rocky cliffs things rising back up. And apparently beyond that, you'll come upon this cave, which apparently is called Quariok to the goblins.
I think we got to go for the coastal cliffs so we can make our way along them to the coastal cave.
Yep, I agree.
Is that correct, Esper? Did I
so you can
misunderstand?
You can stay on the higher ground and stay in the pathway and in the cover of vegetation and keep going and see where that leads you. Or you could come down the slope and you'll be like passing by Chumswick at whatever distance you can maintain.
Oh, let's stay in the brush.
Okay. Yeah, if we can go around Chumswick and then come down to the cliffs, that makes more sense.
We should definitely go around it. Yeah.
Right. We don't know where the path leads exactly, but we can probably assume it doesn't necessarily lead to the cave. So yeah, if we go like just past Chumswick and then veer off down south, or
Okay. So you determined it seems a better idea to stay up here and keep the the elevation and the plant life and whatnot to give us some cover, and you keep trekking along the footpath. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Would you like perception checks at any point?
Or stealth? Stealth?
Everyone make perception checks.
Okay.
Stealth check, maybe? I got a 4 on my perception.
Ooh.
A 12 perception.
Well, okay.
Aygir looking at a hot 6.
Oh shit.
Oh, this is not good.
I have the highest perception.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1, so
and Esper's making us roll because even when there is nothing, we all know that Esper makes us roll anyways. He's always done that.
Walykos,
perhaps it's
gotten a higher check than everyone else.
Yes, I did. I got a 12.
Yeah.
12? Okay. Your party is trekking along for some ways, and around about the time that you're trying to determine if this is taking you in the right direction, and do we need to like cut through this area up here maybe now? You're at this kind of decision-making point when appearing are some flying creatures, flying beasts.
Oh joy!
Are they goblins with like little bat wings?
They're bestial.
Anything that's a flyer.
There are a total of 4 of them, and they are wild kite sail creatures. They're not the large, well-bred war drake things like from Barnacle. They're the wild ones. They're smaller. They're about the size of a person, maybe a small person, right? They're not really the bulk of a full-grown man, but they're predatory creatures, reptilian, dinosaur-like drake things, and they come like swooping and gliding along through the air, and they've spotted you all. They are...
What are they called again, by the way?
Kite sails.
Kite sails.
Yeah. I'll tell you how far away they are, and then you all can tell me real quick what you want to do
Want
about
to do? Yeah, please give us a range to them.
Apparently, they're pretty close. They're 50 feet away from you when you've
Oh.
spotted them.
Beautiful.
So like 50 feet to your, essentially to your front, and they've got some good elevation. So we'll say they're like 25 feet above you, over your head.
Okay.
So what's a quick reaction with these things?
They're 50 feet away?
Yeah.
And they have spotted us.
Well, I think that the quick reaction would be to try and scare them off by shooting at them.
Yeah, I'll pull up my bow.
Got my crossbow out, cocked and loaded.
Got my
Aygir ready's that smith's hammer with a storm bolt ready to go.
Yeah, I'm just
Vapor's
gonna-
got his stormbolt.
I feel like we're all
Charging.
attacking. Is what's happening, Esper.
Okay. Yep.
We're readying
You
to.
all decide, let's go on the offensive. There's only 4, and they're not really the big ones.
That's what we're hoping, that we can
Yep.
maybe alpha strike.
Go ahead and everyone roll for initiative.
14.
Ooh, that is a very high initiative. 23.
Oh, Aygir, what's your dex?
Almost certainly lower than yours. It's a 13.
Oh yeah, 19. Yeah, so I'll go first.
So
Okay. Who's got the highest?
23 Walykos,
Okay.
14 Adriel, 14 Aygir in that order,
Yep.
and then a 4 on Vapor.
All right, Walykos, you get to act first. There are 4 of them. They are 50 feet away and 25 feet above your head.
Walykos is going to go ahead and shoot with his heavy crossbow at the lead one in the pack. And let's see if I need to use my advantage or anything. That might hit. Does a 19 hit?
Yes, it certainly does.
All right, D10. Crossbow.
Oh yeah, quick question, Esper, while he's getting his damage. Do we need to keep track of our arrows?
We're using the ammunition dice. So at the moment, you have a D12, and then after an encounter in which you've used ammunition, you'll roll your D12. If you roll the 1 on it, it goes down to a D10, and you just repeat that. And if it goes down to a D4 and you roll a 1, then you're out of ammo.
So should I just roll a d12 real fast?
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
no,
go for it.
just okay. Well, anyways, I got 7 on the damage.
Walykos, you fire a bolt from your crossbow and you hit the thing. If you can picture it, it's sort of like Drake, dinosaur-like to its head, and has these small foreclaws. It has these really long back legs with the sail-like wings coming off the back legs and running all the way down this long tail. It's definitely more long than it is bulky. And you hit the thing, and that seems like a really powerful shot, and it like rips a hole through part of its one of its
body.
sail
Yeah.
wings, and it lets out this screech of pain, and it looks like that was a pretty devastating hit.
I reload my crossbow with my,
Yep.
whatever.
Okay.
And then
So the one that
I'm
you
good.
shot, it actually does a side swooshing maneuver, and it starts just flying to the side or maybe flying away.
That's fine. If the others follow, then no need to murder these things.
The others are doing a diving, swooping thing.
Are
so
they up
come-
next?
Yep. Yeah, they're going now. They come swooping, and let's see how. Okay. Yep. So there's going to be 3 bites at you, Walykos.
If they're coming at me, I think I'm going to go ahead and use my Hand of Fate to dodge out of turn
Okay.
before you roll the dice.
Yep.
Just to be
Excellent.
fair. Yep.
All right. Fate is upon you. The first one snaps with its jaws. Its dagger-like teeth have a 15 to hit.
That will not hit.
All right. It snaps. You evade. The second one is a 21.
That's with disadvantage.
Indeed, it is.
Ooh.
That will hit.
Okay. And the third is 15. So we know that
We know that will not.
not enough. All right. The first one snaps, and you take 4 piercing damage.
That's not too bad.
and they're almost like going to do this like flyby swoop, but their turn's over. So technically, they're within like melee reach of everyone at this very moment.
They are. Are they within 5 feet of Walykos as well?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, they actually used all their speed to get to him and did their bites.
So yes, you can
And
sneak
it's
attack.
Adriel now.
All right, I guess I'll. Oh, but I had my short bow out. So am I able to drop my short bow and pull out my rapier?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Oh, cool. All right, then yeah, I'll get my rapier out, and I will.
I don't think you really need to drop the short bow because you just hold the rapier in one hand.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that works. All right, I will use my rapier to attack. I guess I'll attack. So the one that Walykos already attacked is gone, right? Like it flew away.
I mean, you can still see it, but it's got like it's like 100.
You're not going to hit it with a rapier.
Yeah, I'll attack the one that bit Walykos.
Yeah.
And am I able to flank it at all? I don't think so. Or would I be?
Nope, it's still up in the air, but it's within
It's
striking
moving
distance of your rapier.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm not going to use my inspiration for this. This is a. Well, yeah, we're running. I'll use my inspiration. Whatever. We'll go again. That's a little better. That's a 15.
Yes, you strike it.
Oh boy, that's a D8 plus a D6 for sneak attack. That's pretty good. That's 9 plus the 13 damage.
Right. So the creature, I imagine it this way: it snaps and does this kind of a light wound, flesh wound thing to Walykos, and at that exact moment,
just like
you run your saber, your rapier, like right through one of its vital organs, and it doesn't even finish its swoop maneuver. It just tumbles into the undergrowth, and it's like fountaining blood.
Yeah, as I do that, I'll pull it out and say, "You are right, Walykos," and then I'll use my bonus action to disengage from them, and I'll just get myself a decent away. I'll get like 15, 20 feet. I'll get like 20 feet away from them.
All right, so you do some remaneuvering, and what about Aygir?
All right. He, using his movement, will actually hold the smith's hammer to the side, draw out his saber, and attempt to open one of their necks like a champagne bottle. Just by which I mean attack it.
Yep.
Ooh, with a pretty decent roll there. That is an 18 to hit.
You have struck.
All right. Ooh, for the minimum possible 3 damage.
Okay. A minor wound to the creature. And Vapor.
Right. No, Vapor doesn't really have a melee, so he's going to fire off his Thunderbolt.
Fire away.
At them. Or Stormbolt, technically. Don't think that's going to hit. Because that is only 11.
All right, you shoot off the Stormbolt. This crackling bolt of lightning zips past the kite sails, not striking the target, unfortunately.
Okay.
Walykos, you're being harried by 2 kite sails. One was struck with a grievous wound from Adriel, and it went tumbling into the undergrowth. The one that you shot's flying away.
So there's 2 still left on me.
There's 2 within striking distance of you.
I feel like Walykos, this is all action sequence happening, so I got hit, and then the other one's got attacked. He's going to whirl and draw his dagger as he does so, and try to just cut the wing off another, and perhaps send it smashing into a tree if I kill it or whatever, you know what I mean. So I'm just holding the crossbow on the other hand. I checked your wording. There should be no problem with that. I'm not wielding 2 weapons. I'm just holding the weapon.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be sure that I could still use my ability.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. Let's see. That is an unnatural 20 to hit.
You strike it.
And that's going to be a 11 damage.
All right. Indeed, your blade tears into the thing. It hits the ground, shrieking and like in its death throes.
Let me just
there
check
is-
one of my things. I'm not familiar with, like, I don't have them memorized off the top of my head. I just want to check my
here's
Satyr's
something to
ploy.
keep in mind with Satyr's ploy.
Yes.
Whenever a creature moves into a space within 5 feet of you, you use it as a reaction.
I could have done that. I didn't. You see,
Yeah,
if I
going to, but
well, I forgot that that's how it activated. I didn't
Yeah.
remember what triggered it.
yeah. So just
So-
kind of visualize it. The creature like runs up to you.
It's
You do this like trick thing and like knock it down, hit it while you spring back.
well, the unfortunate thing of being a new class and troubleshooting it, I don't have these memorized.
It's all good. It's all
You'll get it.
good.
You'll see.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Paragon. It's a whole new class.
Yeah.
We don't have like 7 years of experience with it like we do with all the other 5th edition classes.
Yeah.
But that's also the great thing about it is because it's like all these new toys. So you'll get
For
into
sure.
the flow. Don't worry. It just takes
Yep.
a couple.
I would like to move to engage the other one, so I'm within 5. If I'm not already within 5 feet, I
You
want to
already
make it.
are. It's herring at you. Actually,
Yeah.
it's biting at you right now.
Yeah. Then come at me.
It's got a 10, so I'm sure that doesn't do it.
That's not. You know that doesn't.
So let's move along to Adriel.
I will run back up to the one, not the one that's on its deathbed, because I'm sure Aygir Vapor can get that one. I'll attack the one that just attacked Walykos. That's within 5 feet of him.
Yep.
Am I able to flank it, or?
Well, it's up in the air, so there's not flanking. but
That's right.
technically
You can just hit it with your sneak attack. Just
Yeah,
try
I
and
said
attack.
attack.
close
Yeah.
enough to do the sneak attack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was just curious if I could get the +2 or not. Just checking.
Unfortunately,
Maybe there's like a tree. You could do like a run
Yeah.
up the tree. And
This is a terrible, terrible attack.
a swinging
how
monkey.
terrible is it?
It is a 10. Oh, I'm sorry, a 9.
That's
Okay,
not.
so that doesn't do it. What about Aygir?
Oh, I will bonus action again, disengage.
You spring back. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're darting back and
You're
forth.
spring attacking.
Here.
Yeah, I'm just like jumping in, going away, jumping in, going away.
I imagine you're like kind of running past it and like going in because there's no reason not to
Yeah.
go.
Oh yeah, I'm
Using
probably
your
like
momentum.
going in, like stabbing, missing, and then like continuing to run, and then coming back. And
Just imagine you're like building up momentum for a charge and then just keep going.
yep, exactly.
All right.
All right.
yeah.
So, how far away are they now? Is there still one within melee range,
It's
or
pretty close. Like it's within your move speed to get to it in melee if you want.
all right? However, that said, he will shoot a storm bolt at it this time. So
Right.
that is going to be a 15 to hit.
That it hits.
All right, that enhancement came in handy for an amount of damage, which is much better than last time. 7.
All right. Arcane lightning crackles over the thing. It lets out a shriek of pain. That seemed very effective. Vapor.
How many of them are still alive?
Really just the one. The others are dead or almost dead, and the one's flying away.
Well, the one flying away is probably out of reach. So,
Yeah.
the one that's still alive, Vapor will take a shot at it. Even if he doesn't hit it, he's still gonna take a shot. And that might hit with a 16.
You got it.
Okay. And Stormbolt's D8? No.
Yep.
Oh, this. Okay.
Yep.
4 points of damage.
Vapor, your storm bolt takes the thing down. And like that, the lesser drake creature.
Vapor, you might want to.
And you will have accrued a half milestone for that encounter.
Now we get to test out those ammo rules. You said if you roll a 1. Well, I rolled a 10. So
ammo
I'm fine.
dice?
Yep.
Yep.
My ammo is still good.
Do I need to do that since I didn't? I don't think I need to. Since I
See,
didn't use my-
Esper, I wasn't not using my Satyr's Ploy. I was saving my Satyr's Ploy because I knew that we might not be able to short rest very quickly to get that back.
Yeah, that's very possible. And
Well.
you didn't really need it. Yeah.
And I knew I didn't need it. Exactly. That's you guessed my plan all along.
I although like it obviously in terms of game, it's not the very bad, but Adriel will walk up to Walykos and just like sort of check him over because he's the only one who took a hit. Say, Walykos, you feeling all right there?
It's fine. It just scuffed me a little bit. He kind of like checks his robe. There, nothing with a 4 damage. My robe isn't like in tatters.
Yeah,
It probably just. It more was like a
like a graze. Yeah.
It probably like hit me harder, and I kind of like jumped back a little bit to absorb the impact.
Yeah.
If you two don't mind terribly, I don't believe this is a very good place to just linger.
Yes, you're probably right, Aygir. We should keep moving forward.
Settlement.
Lead on, Aygir, as you were.
Well, let's see.
Before we lead on, do we know anything about the creatures? Obviously, aren't that big. Are they like crab size, the medium like size?
The crab would be
Small.
bulkier than these.
So these are
These
smaller.
would be a little bit longer, but the crab is substantially bulkier.
Walykos,
Could I grab one? You know, and it's like
Dinner. Yes.
Did it very good, yeah.
I'm just saying, waste not, want not.
Right.
Walykos knows, that you gotta, sometimes you gotta take a 5-pound bag of sand into a temple, just in case. There's.
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
That's a reference to another game that we played together.
Oh,
So,
is it? Oh, okay, yeah. The jar of dirt's a reference to a movie.
Well, we move on.
Yes, continue. Lead on, Aygir.
Yeah. So
Short distance later, Aygir, who is your guide at this moment, you determine that we've passed that beach and we're about ready to pass roughly where. Well, you think you need to get off this path now. You need to kind of bushwhack it for a bit and take like a sharp left and maybe come down a ridge, and that's probably going to get
I check my hand-drawn map. I'm like, yep, that's exactly where we need to go.
So why don't we have Aygir do another wisdom survival check?
alrighty, let's watch this one be
You can
terrible.
navigate.
Got my whole +3 from being proficient in it, and having a +1 to the. Ooh. Okay. Well,
Didn't sound like a good okay.
it sounded like a 7. Okay.
All right. Let's see how much trouble you've just gotten everybody into. Okay. Moderate. Aygir, I need you to make, I think it's going to be a dexterity saving throw.
Can I help since I'm like next to Aygir? I don't know. Maybe.
Tell me about your help.
Well, if I see like he's about to like fall in or something, I'll definitely like try and like grab him and pull him back. Or like
a perception check, Adriel.
10?
Okay.
I tried.
Aygir, make your dexterity save.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I imagine he was like, wait, I think I hear one of those creatures coming. Wait, no, never mind.
Aygir, what's going on?
Just make the save. You said something after make the save.
Dexterity saving throw for Aygir.
I use a Satyr's Ploy to push Aygir. No, just
All right, that's a 12.
Okay, so Aygir, you have not navigated or outdoorsmanshiped very well here, and you are taking a stumble down a sharp escarpment.
Does Vapor see Aygir fall over the edge?
Yes, you do.
Shoot a
Okay,
scene
he's casting levitation on him.
Okay.
I don't think that.
As a Air Genasi, he's allowed to cast levitation once per day.
correct, but it's not a reaction.
Yeah, it's not a reaction.
Well, what's the range of levitation? I'm more concerned about the range.
Okay.
Right. We're not in combat, so reaction shouldn't too much matter.
I guess.
You're still gonna fall.
It is a 60-foot.
You'd still
Like
fall for
French.
at least. You'd
Okay.
still fall for at least 6 seconds, though.
All right,
Well,
so I hear
depends on
you,
how
right?
quickly you
It's
cast.
happening so fast. Give Vapor a perception check, and let's see if he like notices it.
That's like honestly, that's what it seems the fairest thing to do.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Perception 16. It's going to be a flat 16.
Okay, that works. Yeah. So the range is good. I was just making sure it wasn't like a touch or something. So you start to see Aygir like tumble and like
Hoggoblin dung.
and it's like the last moment you get off this levitate spell on him, and though you do have the option to make a saving throw to resist levitation.
Yeah, do you want to resist it?
He will not exercise that option.
Okay. So there has to be some cool effect that's happening here, right? This is like an innate air Genasi thing, right? Like, is there
Maybe it's like wind.
Yeah, so it's like
I
the
think
wind. So you,
blow,
yeah, the
like,
wind is
blow
literally
out-
shifting suddenly, and it's like Aygir feels the air warm suddenly underneath him because it's a hot updraft that's picking him slowly up, and like he's slowly, inch by inch, gaining altitude.
All right, so Aygir, you take this stumble, and there's still vegetation and rocks and stuff everywhere, and you start to fall, and then you feel that warm updraft, and instead of like going down 30 feet and smacking on rocks, Vapor.
He's like only about a foot off the ground now. Vapor's only about a foot off the ground.
I'm gonna just
Okay.
look up. Aygir, you doing all right up there? You lose your footing?
By the gods. Thank you for that. Now, can you put me down?
I'll put my hand up to Aygir to like.
Not
pull
you. The other one.
Vapor slowly lowers him down until he's got his footing.
Now, see, pay attention. Look at the ground in front of you. Always pay attention to where you're going. Don't do what I
you
do.
found the direction that you need
Steps.
to go in. To,
I
like,
can't
get
do
down
it
off the
again.
high ground.
So take your own advice into account.
Well, Aygir, you
Okay, very well. So you all
job.
just kind of trial and errored it there, and you found, okay, maybe not go down there, go forward a little bit, and you find an area that's easier to go down from the high ground, that's less precarious. Why don't I just have everybody, except Vapor, you're already down there, everyone else make an athletics check to do some climbing. It's not, you find the easiest place you can.
Can I use my 70 foot of rope to like make it easier for us?
And can I just use acrobatics instead of athletics?
Can I also use acrobatics instead of athletics?
So
God,
the rope is fine. I forgot about the rope you had. So the rope is a really long thing. You get it tied off up there, and you all descend on the rope.
And I'll tie it in a way so I can like get it back after we're finished. If that's possible.
Let's see. Actually, I don't know. Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't use ropes in real life.
Can Aygir still levitate and like just levitate him up there? And
I was about to say, yeah, just keep the levitation going.
Yeah,
And
keep the
you'll be-
levitation on Aygir, and then when we get down, you can get the rope back. So
there we go. Excellent. You've made it down the high ground. Let's get on to this coastal cave. It's high time for that.
I believe is high
High
tide.
tide. Is it high
for
tide?
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's coming up on low tide.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
when,
that's what we want.
that's when the boat can make it into. Apparently, there's a chamber of the cave where the like there's actual kind of a sandy inlet of ocean.
Yes.
So this cave, yeah, it is from the outside, it's just like a big rocky part of the coast, the coastline. But when you approach it from the angle that you've come in from, you do see a cave mouth, an opening. So it's a little dimmer in there. It's not so dark because there's still sunlight indirectly feeding in, but it's a low light inside of there. What is your approach?
Probably directly in, unless there's some sort of an obvious trap. We don't want to
Like
just
a natural cave mouth, a wide mouth,
Right.
quite a wide mouth.
Right, we want to be kind of cautious and stealthy and not just run straight into Mr. Three-Headed Goblin and Insane Dwarf, but
Yeah, I'll stealth in if we want, just to get in there and see what's in there.
Look at you being all fancy and sneaky. Thanks for offering this to do this now.
Well, at least I don't lose my way and almost fall off 30 feet into rocks.
At least I don't almost murder children like
Let's
nothing.
save the passive aggressive back and forth for another time. I'm weary of this.
Adriel, are you going to go sneak in and scout
Yep.
what's going on inside of there? Okay.
I will do the sneaky.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. I'm going to have you roll stealth in just a moment here.
Put my hood on.
Vapor's going to look over to Walykos and ask actually if he's got any of that crab meat still.
Wait, but you don't need to eat.
No, I'm thinking of something and I have an idea.
And what do you have in mind?
Well, I do have those poison mushrooms that could make someone sick, so he's going to stuff them into the crab meat and then give them to the three-headed goblin.
That's not necessarily a bad idea.
Because I doubt the three-headed goblin knows the mushrooms are not to eat the mushrooms.
I think, would it be obvious if he ate it that it tastes bad, though?
Well, that's why he's stuffing it into...
Like, what are you going to do? Give him the shits? Like, what's your end goal?
Let me
just make him sick.
A kind of random roll on the flavor of these mushrooms. They taste disgusting.
Okay.
Okay, I was wondering if they taste
sharp, sour, bitter.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah, if they're gonna have a sharp sour, he won't do that. He was.
So you're gonna do that in the crab meat?
Yeah.
Well, give me that crab meat. I'll take it.
Okay, Adriel.
Never mind.
You step ahead quietly, cautiously. You got your hood up. It's a wide cave mouth, really wide. You could like stretch your arms out, and you still can't touch both sides of the cave mouth. Rocky, completely asymmetrical, jutting parts. A pretty large-looking rock formation here. It has to be a decent-sized cave. Yeah, a pretty good-sized cave, you would imagine. You start creeping in. Are you creeping along a wall, maybe using the rock shapes and such to get cover behind?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, just keeping myself like as much in cover in the darkness as I can. Yeah.
Okay, so you come in, and so immediately you're within a pretty large-sized chamber, we'll call it, hollow here in the cave, and you can see there's like some little inlets, and it's all kinds of jagged and rounding and varied formations to the walls. It's a completely natural cave. You can hear the echoes from farther within the cave. Some sounds of like water spattering and dripping, and actually quite a bit. It almost sounds like a showering, almost a raining effect from somewhere farther on. And then as well, you can faintly hear the sounds of like the waves, like the waves and the surf from somewhere distant in. So there's a lot of watery reverberations in the cave. The stone has a pockmarked and water wind carven look, a teal coloration to it. You notice there are two tunnels, one to the right and one to the left, that are stretching ahead of you.
I will go to the left.
Okay, so you creep towards the left tunnel. It goes down. There's a natural slope that's taking you down to a lower elevation, and you see down there a stony chamber. It's a decent sized chamber, maybe 30 feet across, and at the far end of it, it's getting pretty dim. It looks like there's some more slope heading down into a pool of water, or maybe some seawater.
I'll head back and go to the right path for now. I don't want to go too far in.
It appeared to be empty to you, and then it led down to some watery area.
Yeah, once I get down there, I'll head back to the right side because I don't think I should go in there by myself.
Okay, so you hang to the right, and this tunnel is a pretty wide tunnel, and it's really short, and it eventually leads you into where you see a number of different chambers and tunnels. So there's immediately one to your left, and there's immediately one to your right. But if you were to go straight ahead, there's more.
Yeah, it's like a maze almost.
Yeah, sort of. It doesn't. Yeah, it's roughly maze-like. Yeah.
All right. Once I've gotten that information, I'll head back out of the cave because I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down I can't go down every single one. So I'm just gonna go back and get up to the party and say, well, I don't know how long it took. It probably took me like 10, 15 minutes, I would think. Get back and say, all right, well, it's a pretty large cave. There's two pathways, one to the left, one to the right. The left way goes down a slope, and it seems to lead to some kind of watery area, some seawater. There's lots of reverberation, some kind of rain sounds within here as well. In the right side, it leads into just a maze of different tunnels. Didn't want to explore too heavily in there by myself, but that's what I've gotten so far.
Well, it sounds like the left at least is easier to navigate.
Yes, the left does seem to be a bit more straightforward, but there could be anything lurking in those waters.
That is true.
What
are you proposing we go down one of them?
Yes, I would say probably the left, but I think that we should at least go together just in case something happens. The left seems much more straightforward. We don't have to get lost in these tunnels.
Very well. Let us make our way. Should we perhaps take a short respite here before we go in?
Do you think that your wound is a bit much? I think that we can take a bit of a rest if needed. I worry that the goblins may come back as well, though.
Well,
I don't think they will be back in an hour's time.
My thought is, if we take time to rest and watch, perhaps we'll meet one of the inhabitants of this cave who perhaps we could convince to show us the way.
I think that's a valid point.
And I will also be better prepared.
Yep. All right.
Out of game, I'll have one of my class features back.
And if we need to fight them, well, we'll be doing so here, where there's some light, as opposed to down there and who knows what.
Yeah,
I agree.
Plus, I mean, getting a couple, even 4 hit points back is still
pretty good. Yeah, of course, yeah.
A level 2, 4 hit points is
crucial. Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't nothing.
I'd rather us go into this knowing that we had everything.
Of course, yeah. No, out of character. Yeah, 100%. I think short rest is fine. Yeah, let's.
There's a good reason.
You didn't see anywhere that looked pitch black. That one spot getting towards the water, it was getting darker, but nowhere seems like so completely underground and blocked off. It almost seems more just like a cave in the sense that wind and water has carven through pockets and hollows of a big rocky cliff formation.
Yeah,
as opposed to like an underground dank place. Oh, it's pretty dank.
So where we want to rest, I guess we should probably do it in a fairly secluded area, like a hidden area, so that just in case something comes out of the cave, it doesn't see us.
Everyone, you like the idea?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think we should see if there's any indication of, like, people live here, like these creatures live here, these exiles. If we can find our way to one of them, our best bet is to have them play the golem that shows us the way.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to rest for an hour here.
Yeah.
Right there by the cave mouth?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that it's an easy way to get in and out if they need something, water. Well, not water, they can get water, but, whatever they need.
Now we are.
They need salt water.
Now
They
where
need
we're
fresh
resting,
water.
it is a bit away from the entrance, though, so they don't just immediately see us, right? They come out. That was my thought process, at least.
I don't think that. Yeah, goblins are gonna come right through here. The exile, maybe. Yeah.
And I don't know if it matters since Adriel doesn't actually technically need the rest. He'll actually just sort of be a little bit away from the party, just stealthed, just in case something does happen. So maybe he can get like a surprise attack or something if needed.
So you'll be the one that they ambush all alone and take out first.
Yeah, if they find me.
I imagine Adriel with his crossbow stealthing, and then this giant claw
Yeah.
behind him. Okay. 1 hour.
If we're doing a small rest, Vapor's got a few little things you like to try doing.
Do your thing, man.
So he's got a couple empty vials probably, and he's going to pour a little bit of his water into them. So he's going to try to see if he can extract some of the poison from the mushrooms just into the water. I have something I want to do with that poison, and I want to.
Walykos like looks at you like you can't see anything behind the mask, but it's like tilted. Like, is this guy serious?
Come on, you're the guy with the 8 intelligence. Who are you to question his plans?
Hey, I have a very high others mentals.
Okay. So, Vapor, you're kind of leaching out some of the poison into the water in a vial.
Yeah.
I don't really know that there's much to talk about with that, other than you do that during the short rest, and it will, over time, leach out some amount of.
Yeah, it's more he's just trying to experiment than see if it, because he's not sure if it will work. He's just trying to experiment because he's always, one of his things is always try to gain new knowledge.
Sure. Okay, excellent. So we'll put a pin in that, and we'll remember that you've got that.
Yeah. So that's like more for down the line, like say a couple of days, he'll take it out and find some unwitting victim to test it on. Aygir.
So far, you're the only guinea pig this whole party. So.
Yeah, I know. So he's going after Aygir to return the favor.
Wait, Aygir's knocked unconscious. All right, down the hatch. Okay.
Aygir's like just thrashing, having a seizure.
Yes. You're waiting for a bit. Okay. Nothing happens. Waves come in, waves come out. The sound of the sea and the the little seabirds and whatnot.
Remind me, Esper, did Lamy tell us how we would know the cave that when we found it? Was there like supposed to be like boxes or something, a torch like set up, anything like that?
As far as you can tell, you're at the right location, because he from what he indicated to you, it was like you go down the coastline and it's the first sea cave that you come to.
Yeah.
A day or two outside of Barnacle.
Yeah, I think his exact words were just like, you can't miss it.
And it truly it is. If you were going down the coastline like you did, this huge cave mouth, and it's pretty easy to spot. And then the exact like chamber that you need to be in. Well, he didn't get super specific, other than it's like this low chamber where there's an inlet of the sea and the sand, and at low tide a boat could come up in there.
Well, that's the thing. So we're looking for a chamber that connects to the water and has sand.
Feel like there's a sign or writing on the wall.
Yeah. No,
dead man.
That obviously we would have remembered if he said that.
Yeah.
But
no markers of.
Was it implied that the boat wouldn't just come into the cave mouth, like at the front?
Well,
there's like a hidden
the beach part where you are.
Yeah. Because I thought the whole point was that it was just coming in there, and we were just here to make sure that nothing in the cave was going to attack them.
But that wouldn't be much of a dungeon now, would it, Aygir?
Out of character, no. But
no.
Lamy didn't get into specifics as to their the plan, the secret plan of the smugglers.
That's fine.
Other than that's where they were planning to bring the boat in.
I see.
Okay, let's search the cave. And see if we can find one of these exiles.
Okay. Again, do you have any particular approach?
We go the left way that Adriel said.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll stay in the front and scout.
I'll go right behind him to keep an eye on him, just in case.
Just in case I fall off a cliff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep one hand like close to my neck, like around something that's around my neck, and my other hand on my hip where my dagger is.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, so I've screen shared.
What a wonderful map, Esper.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was wondering if someone was going to make a comment about that. All right, so remind me who is in front?
I think that Adriel would be in front, and he'd be like in the front stealthily, just like making sure that no one's seeing him and stuff. Am I unmuted? Oh, I am. Okay, good.
You're good.
Okay.
I think in order it's probably Adriel, Aygir,
Yeah.
Walykos, Vapor, or
Seems like what we got.
yeah.
Okay, so this is essentially what you have seen, Adriel.
So we're going left up to the water, right there.
Yeah, because
okay.
right.
I mean, that might just be the cavern that we're talking about, right there.
Yeah.
Right.
And honestly, if we don't need to,
and you get into this cave, and there isn't anything that appears when you sneak in here, and there is this slope, a natural slope going down into some water, though it does just end at cave walls.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. If there's no tunnel, then the ship's not getting in through here.
Yeah.
And we know that it's low tide right now. Is that correct, Esper?
Yeah, it's not the lowest, but it's getting towards it.
But basically, they would come in during low tide. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
Implying that something is normally flooded, that they're taking advantage of it not being flooded. Yeah.
I mean, there would be some sort of tunnel, I feel, that we would see. And we can always come back here if we find no other rooms that match.
I agree, yeah. So I guess like once we get in here and like kind of make sure that there's no tunnel, we'll head back to the right side.
Yep, seems legit. All right, next tunnel over. Which I guess is the only tunnel. Yep.
Oh, tunnels, plural.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to go through that one tunnel first.
Right.
Okay.
Here's where we get attacked.
Probably.
So you all begin heading this direction.
Yep.
And let's see.
And if it again, like I'm staying stealth the whole time.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect.
There we go. That looks good. All right. So you begin making your way. Is that not the one I want? Okay, that's fine. It's really not a super big deal.
If you really want to, you could expand that and size it. Yeah.
Okay.
Although Esper, you should really learn to use the Fog of War feature. It's very useful.
I do know how, but see, I'm screen sharing, so
True.
you all just see what
but
I'm seeing. Like
that's true. There's a player view you could put it on, but you would need to. I'll talk to you about it after session.
Yeah, if I was running a second instance of it and was like had the second instance as though another person on the live stream. And
you have
their screen, and you can.
I was going to say, do you have 2 monitors? You can do that.
It might be possible. So, but yeah, we'll figure that out.
I'll show you later.
What can I tell you about this area that you're seeing up here? There's a spattering sound of water coming from this direction.
Well, Esper, here's my question. Which side of these caves is the ocean on?
Up here. Yep.
I think we should go that way and be closer to the ocean.
It stands to reason that's where the...
I mean, there could be a really deep tunnel that goes through,
right.
But realistically, we're going to hit the place where it intersects. Path of least resistance.
Right.
And in any tunnel, it's going to be flooded no matter what we hope for, because this close to the water, the water table is going to be so high.
But the tides are low, and specifically, we know this tunnel is going to be above water.
Yeah.
Are you
No,
all,
I get what you're saying. It's just
Never
we
mind.
know that there has to be a way for them to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you all moving about in a sneaky
Yeah.
fashion?
Oh yeah.
I'll sneak.
Well,
Yeah.
Yep.
as sneaky as possible.
Yeah,
What
I
do you all
get
roll?
vapor will be somewhat
Adriel
sneaky.
is like full sneak
What
this
do you all
entire
roll?
time.
All roll stealth check. Okay.
16 for vapor, even though he's kind of like half-assing stealth.
I got a 16 as well.
I guess I'll use my inspiration because I don't want to bring you all down.
Yep, be good. You're on scrub. You're looking at a 19.
Okay, that's better. I got an 18. Yep.
Okay.
Would have been just a 13 before, but I was like, I'm not going to bring the party average down.
Really, Nick? Our actual guy who should be stealthing is the same as the guy who doesn't really care if we're stealthing or not.
I rolled an 8 though and got a 16.
This is where guidance comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get plus 8 to stealth, so like my low roll is 16.
So you all are sneaking about, and you see there are different inlets, perhaps tunnels or chambers. It's hard to tell until you go and take a look.
I like where you put us. Let's check that out. And I think that little side pocket cave is a totally great place for a creature ambush if I were throwing it down. So let's keep an eye on that.
I agree. I concur with Walykos.
I would stay on the far wall away from it and keep your eye on it.
Oh wait, I don't want to go into the.
Yeah,
Right
yes,
in
put the
there.
next character there, so that way we can see another character death on the second session of that character.
You
I guess
see
it's the second
strange large eggs and a drooling blind monster. No, I'm joking. Okay. It does.
Fuck that, I'm out. Vapor runs.
It does look like there are some things inside this little inlet. You don't think there are any creatures hiding in there.
Yeah,
It looks
Esper,
like
that's
little bits of stuff in there, like little pieces of wood and like scavenged stuff that someone might pick up from along the coast. If someone
could be an exile little home. Yeah. Let's bypass it and not, like he'll either follow us to a more preferable.
Right.
Actually, there's no reason for all of us to go. Can I just stealth and hide right at the corner to see if he tries to come out and follow us? Because I assume not there, but like right there at the nope. Yeah, almost a little bit further up, but yeah. No, you had it right back there. Yeah, that's what I mean. Basically, we all just walk past. I assume he's either watching us and he'll come out and try to follow us, or
Right.
not.
Or possibly not home.
Yeah. So, but this way I can still see where you guys are going, but I can keep an eye on our back trail.
Yep.
So we don't get in.
You wait for a bit. Everyone roll perception checks.
Oh, I assumed they were going to keep going. Yeah. Perception. That's not great.
You said all of us roll perception?
Yep.
It's a 12 for me. Not very good.
Nah, I'm not going to pass that one.
I'm not
I don't
gonna
have the reason
pass
to do
either.
anything.
I got a 7. I mean, if he steps out into the open, I'll see him. But other than that, I don't see him at the moment.
I'm looking at an 11.
Okay. And then you three are continuing down this way, down this slope.
Yep. And I'm just going to give them a little time because I assume that we'll meet back up. Once I lose track of them, I'll go back. But yeah.
Okay. So here we go. That works.
Nice.
There is indeed a creature down here that you notice. I guess Adriel will be the one who first goes down the slope. And is a scraggly, haggard man of some kind. Have a token that will show his image.
Ooh, fancy.
Fancy.
Is not that. Well, I believe I have it. Here it is.
But
Okay.
do you
Yes.
actually have it?
Okay. Here we go.
I will be right back.
A scraggled, horned dwarf goblin sea combing wild man, and he looks to be eating something, little shelled things, and he has a chamber of his own here, complete with a cook fire and a sleeping area and other little stuff that he's collected, and he's hunched over on a driftwood log.
And he doesn't see us.
Sucks out something from like a cockle or whatnot, and then starts like working on the next one. He has weapons as well. He has a blade and an axe.
And he doesn't see us?
Yeah, good
He
question.
has not noticed you. You're there on the slope looking at him, Adriel.
All right, I'm going to look back at Aygir and just be like, indicating I want to kill him.
Well, that seems a little hasty, don't you think?
Well, if we get the jump on him, then he can't fight back.
Like, I know he's not a child, but still, is murder really the only option, you know?
Well, do you really think that this mangled monster is going to talk to us and just help us in any way that we want? We were hired here by Lamy to rid this cave of anything. He didn't tell us how.
He is sitting there, eating a meal. I don't know if that implies he is necessarily going to think to attack us.
Well, you're welcome to go over there and talk with him if you'd like.
Seems to me, if he doesn't attack the shipment, then he's not a problem.
Well, the only way to find out is if you go and talk with him, Aygir.
Well, have that bow of yours ready, and don't miss.
All right, I'll pull my short bow out.
Hey, Vapor. Train your eyes on what I'm about to do, and keep an eye on this one too, will you?
Also, quick thing.
Vapor has both hands with Stormbolt charge, and is like kind of like pointing them at both people that Aygir's said to keep track. So kind of has the hand hidden under his arm, pointing at Adriel.
For my stance, like I'm gonna make sure that I'm hidden. So like when Aygir goes out there to talk with him, even if he turns and looks, I don't want him to be able to see me.
All right. No time like the present. Aygir, with his hand as surreptitiously on his sword hilt as possible, is going to walk into the chamber in a very conspicuous manner, kind of shuffling his feet along to make noise, maybe even whistling.
You startle the haggard fellow there who
He's trying not to do. He's trying to make gradual.
whose name was previously told to you as Edgar.
Yeah.
And he looks up from the seafood, right? The crustacean thing that he was snarfing. Looks like he's boiled up some cockles or whatnot. And he looks up at you. Hands go to his weapons. They found me! Oh, they found me!
Who is they? There's no need for those.
He says this in the goblin tongue, I should point out.
Huh. I answer in goblin. No need for those. I don't know who they are, but I am not them. I assure you that.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy, time for my terrible charisma.
I was about to say this would have actually been better
into a bit of paranoia.
I was about to say this would have actually probably been a better thing for Adriel to do because he's pretty good at persuasion.
Vapor has really good persuasion, but he does not have the patience. Actually, no, he doesn't have persuasion.
How is an 11?
he erupts into a riot of paranoia and is going to defend his home from them. You know, they that have been hunting and pursuing him for so long now. Hey, find me! Help me! Ah!
I shoot my bow.
Before we roll for initiative, we have a couple stealth people. Adriel, take your shot if you would like.
Do I get advantage because he hasn't seen me?
You certainly do.
Yes, that's sneak attack. Oh boy. Where's my other D20? Alrighty. Yeah! I dropped one of my dice. That is a pretty high, actually. Let's see, 4, 6, 22.
22 is a hit.
And that is a D6 for the short bow. Short bow D6, right?
Yes.
So it's 2 D6s. Short bow and sneak attack. 9 damage.
Okay, 9 damage.
Yeah, so like right when he just rages, like Aygir, you just hear the twing of a shot. And I imagine it like flies past your head.
He probably would have ducked slightly just because he knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Do you have a...
He's got a spell at the ready.
Okay.
So would I have advantage as well, or no?
Yes, you do. You are hidden.
Okay, well, I only got a 14, so I'm not sure if that's going to hit.
14 does not hit him. His armor is... Well, it's weird, cobbled together, strange beach dwarf goblin armor. It's heavier, not the heaviest in the world, but it's...
Now I have a quick question.
Substantial armor.
I have a quick question. I have a quick question real fast. So after I did that attack, and feel free to say no, but would I be able to use a bonus action after that attack to hide again?
Yeah.
Awesome. So stealth check for that?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Because if I can get another advantage attack, that'd be great. Oh man, that was not a good stealth roll. Man, I'm rolling terrible today. I mean, it's still a 13, but
okay, 13. And I'll roll his perception. Is 20.
Yeah.
So
I rolled a 5 on my dice.
All right, go ahead and roll for advantage. Initiative. Malaya.
Where was that freaking natural 20 when I needed it?
I rolled
natural 20 on my
I rolled a natural 1 on mine, so I got a 5.
Oh, nice. I'm not mad. I got a 6.
Well, I hope I go first because I did say Vapor had another spell ready hidden under the arm pointed at Adriel.
I mean, flavor it how you like.
And what's your initiative?
So it's a 21 for Vapor, 5 for me, and 6 for Aygir.
No, 16 for Walykos. He's still.
Sorry.
Walykos is still part of this party.
Sorry.
All right.
Vapor. I forgot all about him. So who's going first?
Vapor. It's on you.
Okay. Well, the other spell that he had pointing at Adriel, he'll just pull out and fire at this guy.
All right. You have a raging horned dwarf goblin sea comber mad hermit, and you send your lightning bolt.
It's gonna miss. I just rolled another 11 on the dice, so that's another 14.
All right, it goes. This bolt of electricity goes cracking to the air. He bats it aside with his hand axe. And anything else before we move along? Vapor?
I can't do anything else at this point, so yeah, that's it.
Walykos, there's a bunch of bad noise up here. What are you doing?
I can't leave these guys alone for a minute without them trying to murder Hobo everything. Move me 35. Yeah, move me 35 feet so I can see what's going on.
Okay.
Was that 30 feet or 35?
I think it was 30.
Yeah, I have 35 feet moved. So
right.
Can I see him from there?
You certainly can.
All right. I'm like, stop, what's going on here? And I'll try to like do like the calm down with my turns action. I still have my
Walykos, the voice of reason.
I mean, Walykos actually seeing this guy has a lot of sympathy.
Okay.
So did Aygir.
Yeah.
did in the past, probably though. His
You just you approached it with your foot already in the mouth.
Walykos.
Oh, yeah, he's not a talker.
Adriel was just gonna backstab him originally. So
Walykos, what skill do you use?
I would like to
persuasion.
Persuasion or performance. I could do either. Honestly, I like this. Hang on. He pulls out his pipes, his pan flute, and he's going to blow. Like music doesn't require language. I'm going to like blow like a tune, and then like try to like motion everyone to stop. I'll say stop, and like try to like get their attention with like blowing. You know how you blow a whistle, and it like everyone just stops what they're doing and looks at the whistle. I'm hoping that this will shock people out of the, Esper?
Right.
Okay, I thought you froze for a second.
You go and you blow into your pan flute.
Yeah.
Make a charisma performance check.
Sure thing. That is a 18.
He goes to summon the Shelled Lord from the deep. Ah! So anyone who speaks Goblin, he seems to think that Walykos is attempting to summon up some kind of elder crustacean horror thing from the deep.
And then if I still have, if you still let me do one last thing, it's not an attack or anything. Manipulating an object, I have that giant bird, whatever thing. I'm going to throw it on the ground between us and be like, stop, everyone, we can work this out.
I think
translate my words, Aygir. Yeah.
The kite sail?
Yeah, the kite sail. I throw the kite sail.
Okay, you throw the drake thing on the ground. The mad hermit, however, has not been placated.
Okay.
And he is in a riot of paranoia.
He also has an arrow.
You're calling up the great shelled Lord of the Deep.
He also has an arrow sticking out of him.
I mean,
halfway stuck in like a little chink of some armor.
Honestly, if I just got shot by like someone with a gun or something, I'm not gonna I'd be like, okay, let's talk. That would be my go-to.
He looks at you, Walykos, and he says, "Here's nothing compared to that which speaks." And his eyes roll back for a second, and he foams the mouth a little bit, and he emits some sort of terrible pulse from his mouth, and this is a attack at you. It is a magical spell, actually, that he's using here.
Walykos I'm here in peace, and then he gets attacked.
You said Walykos? Hang on, guys, I can't hear him. What did you say?
Being attacked.
Okay, is it a saving throw?
It's a spell attack. You're being attacked. It's a 9 to hit. He misses with whatever pulse of horror that was, and he seems as well to have invigorated from that. Let's see. He took 9.
Even on a miss, he invigorates?
It's actually a separate effect that he's using here. This is his bonus action.
Gotcha.
Okay, he has recovered from that shot that Adriel put out there, and he darts over here for cover.
Bad Goblin Dwarf, bad.
And we now go to Aygir. Well, I appreciate your efforts. You haven't told me your name other than to call yourself something.
Pipes. Yes.
Yes, Pipes. I appreciate your effort, but I think the time for calls is past. He's going to touch him and cast guidance on him, on Walykos. And he's going to have his Smith's hammer ready to ping a storm bolt. But that won't even be a ready to action because he already used his action, so that's it.
And now, Adriel.
Can I still see him?
Where are you at? Yeah, he has half cover.
And he already attacked Walykos, so he couldn't have a reaction. Or a ready action, should I say? I'll move up so he's not in half cover anymore for me. But along the wall, basically.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah. So where I can get, is that so now I can get a normal attack on him?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just shoot another bow at him or another arrow. Shoot my bow at him. Just throw my bow.
Throw your bow at him. No,
Oh wow, that's gonna hit. I think that's a 25. I rolled a 19, so
25. Okay, definitely hits.
yeah. And this is not sneak attack because it's just a normal d6. 6 damage.
Right.
And then I will use my bonus action to attempt to. I'll move back, and I'll also use my bonus action because I have 35 feet of movement. I think that was 10 feet or something. Yeah, so I'll move back and cover, and I'll also use my bonus action to try and hide again. Can you put me down, like just straight down instead of with them? So like,
so
can you, like right there, and I'll use my bonus action to hide sort of in that crevice area.
All right, go ahead and roll the stealth.
God, I cannot roll well in stealth today. 11.
Oh, he actually rolled terrible, so you are hit.
Really? Boy. So I just I imagine I shoot him with my bow, and then I sort of quickly get into a crevice and hide.
Very nice. Now we go to next round, which is Vapor.
So Vapor is going to move to where he can get a clear line of fire and take a shot at him.
Vapor moves up.
I'm just so glad I can bonus action hide now, so I get
20. Yeah, that's
okay. I am going to use my inspiration because that was a freaking crappy roll.
okay.
That's better. So is a 16 going to hit?
It does.
Yes.
And technically he's wearing metal armor, so if you're stormbolting, you have advantage.
Oh.
So then I didn't need to use my inspiration.
Yeah, so just don't use the inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's only 2 points of damage, but that's better than nothing.
Okay. You give him a little tiny zap. I have his armor noted as chainmail. I don't know if it's all metal, but there's enough on it to where I'll give you that.
If there's any metal, it should be it. All right, and then he will duck back down.
Okay, so you can go to there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, do not come into my crevice. This is my little hiding hole, not yours.
Give me just 1 second to read. I'm going to read something in my player's handbook to see how this spell works.
Sure.
I think I remember, but there's a couple particulars that I'm not sure about.
You're fine.
Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, cool. Got it. So he just got hit a couple times there. He got hit by Vapor and by Adriel, right?
Well, I thought I was before him.
Walykos. Oh, I beg your pardon. It is Walykos. Then it's Aygir.
I feel like we skip Walykos so much.
Well, technically nothing has happened, so he hasn't gotten skipped yet.
Correct. Which is why I wanted to speak before too late. How far away is 35 feet from where I'm at? Can you just 35? Give me a straight line?
Yeah.
Would I be able to get within 5 feet of him? Yeah, it looks like.
That's exactly what you need.
Just put me within 5 feet of him. So Walykos draws his dagger, runs up there, and is going to stab at him.
You mock me with those false horns of yours!
And
which I guess you don't quite understand that. You just hear.
Yeah. Does a unnatural 20 hit?
Yes, it certainly does.
Then go ahead and he takes that's going to be a 13 slashing damage.
13. Oof!
Now, I was going to use my reroll if I rolled poorly. I was going to use the Hand of Fate so I could then dash away at the end. But there's no real reason to do so, so I'm just going to save it.
Okay. He glares at you and he utters some foul arcane words. And you feel a horrid sensation creep over you. You've actually felt a similar sensation once before when you were turned into when you were turned into what you are now. You have been hexed, Walykos.
Is there a saving throw or anything for that? I don't think there is, but just to check.
There is not, though. An additional effect with it is that
Is
you have
to
disadvantage
pick one of my
on
ability
strength
scores.
ability checks.
Sure. Strength ability checks, got it.
That's what he picked. Maybe he thinks you're going to try to grab him and haul him away to some sort of horrible dungeon.
I'm going to stuff him in my sack and go Krampus on his ass.
No, it's not a save, though he is concentrating on it.
Yes.
And
very good. So that's his bonus action. And keep in mind that is a first level spell, so he can only cast a cantrip if he uses his...
He is actually going to swing his hand axe at you.
Fair
That is a 21 to hit.
I'm going to use the tread the path of blades, which is a no action.
Cool.
So how that works is...
Excellent.
Till the end of your next turn, each time you're attacked, make a dexterity acrobatics check, and you can use it in place of your AC. You can also use it in place of dexterity saving throws, basically.
Roll well.
I mean, it's going to be better than my AC. So, I mean, like, it gives me a chance. I can use it or my AC. Nope. Not enough to beat a 21, but that's fine.
The hand axe does some slashing, and the hex does some necrotic. I rolled max. That's 15 damage.
You're level 2 though, so you're not dead.
I'm not dead. But this is also good thing we short rested too.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, that was
Aygir, what do you got?
All right. Well, Walykos can't die alone in there, so he's gonna charge in, drawing his sword in the process. And how far is that? Is that within 30 feet?
You get close, but not quite close enough.
All right. Then he will cast a storm bolt from.
You have
close
advantage
range.
because his stat block says chain.
Alrighty. Ooh. Okay. Well, that could have been really, really bad. I think that's going to be okay because the lower die is a 5. The higher die comes to a 15 to hit.
He deflects your stormbolt with his scimitar.
I thought you said it was a hand axe.
He has 2.
He has one of each. Yeah.
How did he cast a spell with, unless he can use, is it allow him to use it as an implement? Thought you needed a free hand to cast unless you could use it as an...
It doesn't need somatic components.
Well, Hex might not need a somatic component. That might be the case.
I don't know if it does, but if it doesn't, then yeah.
It is there's Aygir. Adriel.
Yeah.
All right. So I have advantage on my attack because of
Hex
hiding,
does
right?
require a somatic component.
So I will.
He deflects it with his hand axe.
Okay.
Next turn, he'll draw his scimitar.
Yeah,
all
right.
good. All good.
I will hop out of my hiding spot, and I get advantage on this, Esper.
Yes, you do.
Yes, and I will shoot with my bow. I need to keep track of how far I move, by the way. Yeah, so that's 5 feet. Okay. Oh, that should hit. That's 20, unnatural 20.
Indeed, your arrow goes whizzing past close to your allies, but straight on.
Yeah, I imagine I sort of jump out of my hiding spot, shoot my bow, and say, "Walykos, we're gonna get you out of there." And then sneak attack. Ooh. Oh, that's almost max damage. That's 13 damage.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right.
How much I did to him? He should be dead if he was one of us.
He feels it. He definitely feels that.
You
finally come drag me off to your hell.
We're not going to drag you off to a hell. We're going to kill you, and then I'm going to I guess I don't understand what he said.
Yeah, he's speaking in
Never
Goblin.
mind, never mind,
The only
never
one
mind.
who's understanding this is
Never mind.
Aygir and Vapor. And
I will,
Vapor's just like kind of like,
I will.
why are we dealing with this crazy?
Is it possible for me? So, do you see that crevice on the if you go diagonal left?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Is it possible for me to hide in that? Not there, but if you move me up a little bit more.
Talking
Yeah,
about
can I hide there? Is that okay? I'll do my bonus action to hide. Yeah, that's a natural 20. That's 28 for stealth.
Okay, you succeed.
And I will, with my extra or free action, I guess I'll pull out a short sword, just in case.
Cool. Vapor. This Edgar has suffered a couple pretty strong hits, but he's still up.
So Vapor is going to kind of do this casual stroll, so he gets a clear line of fire, or until he hits max movement.
Yeah, Walykos is still giving him half cover.
Okay, that's fine. He's going to then take aim with his fingers and release another Stormbolt.
Natural 1 hits Walykos.
Ooh, that is beautiful, as that is an 18.
Good enough.
And 4 points of damage.
Yeah!
And then Vapor is going to speak in Goblinese. I would recommend you calm down, good sir. We're not here to drag you to hell. But we can't send it to you if you don't stop this.
Not bad, not bad. I'll give you an intimidation check. Roll it up.
Okay.
Hey.
I don't have any proficiency, but
You got charisma.
See how
at
this-
least. Yeah.
I shit you not, natural 20.
He is affected by intimidation, and particularly your intimidation there. I yield! I yield!
He yields. Weapons on the ground. Good sir.
He drops his hand axe, and Walykos can relieve him of his scimitar if you would like.
Yep. I will do so.
The weapons are pitted, chipped. They've definitely seen their fair share of usage, but they are, they're well crafted enough to still be effective.
Yeah. I tossed them
What is
on the
it?
side of
Where are
the-
you taking me? They
No
sent you.
one. We just want to
I know
talk.
they sent you. You've been after me for years. You finally got me. Eat my heart and choke on it. He bears part of his chest as he can, pulling back his armor.
What is he saying?
He believes we were to take him somewhere and to kill him, and he wants us to choke on his heart.
He thinks we are the ones after him. Edgar, I've heard you called that name. We are not them. I do not know who they are, but we are not them.
They told you the name. What if that name? There. He mumbles a bit to himself and looks this way and that.
I am going to.
The hex has been relieved off of you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Adriel's just gonna stay hidden.
I'm gonna back up a little bit, but I will say,
Are you not to feast upon my heart? It is here. I pay my chest to you. Curse be upon 3 generations of mine. Well, I'm not prone to that. I have no offspring. Tell me now.
Aygir slaps him. Aygir slaps him. We don't want that.
Aygir, you make an intimidation check.
All right, I'm still bad at it. But that's 16.
Fine. You're free agents. Take what you will. You want my things? They are no longer of value to me.
We want you to talk.
can you tell me what he's saying?
He's asking if we want his things, as if we were robbers. We don't want your things. We want you to talk
I would
coherent.
feel most pity towards this creature. Taking his things would be beyond an insult.
Agreed.
It would be kinder to kill him.
still
I
talk.
think, however, we should
Stop talking. Yes.
perhaps ask him what he knows of these caves, if he knows of the three-headed goblin that lives here, and if he knows where we're supposed to meet.
We are here in these caves for a purpose. We were told about you and about another one down here. 3 heads.
Oh, you know him too? Yes. He might be around. It's not my duty to care for him.
Well,
We
regardless,
never said it was your duty. We just like to know if you know where he's at.
regardless of where he
Don't
is,
zap me anymore. I'll tell you what you want. Yes. 3-headed one. They are 3 in 1. Muck, shock, and burr.
and regardless of where he or they are, there is a
He keeps
chamber
in a chamber.
here.
That way.
Yes, but there's also a chamber here where you could sail some sort of a boat or watercraft,
Boats and watercraft.
some sort of a tunnel.
Usually
Ask him
too rocky
if-
around these parts for boats to make land. But at low tide, there's a way. There's a way. Yes, not far from here.
Can you
Yeah.
show us there?
So is it? Take you to it, I will. Take
Yes.
you to it, I will.
We don't ask for your things or your heart. This is what we ask of you.
You don't
Unless
want
he
my
has a
thing?
healing potion.
We don't want your things.
I mean, I'd take a healing potion if he has one.
Yeah.
I have one. Yes.
Well, okay, if you insist on giving us
Oh,
something.
I forgot. Oh, it escaped me. I'm getting rusty. I'm getting old. I could have bested you all. If only I would have remembered. Oh. It speaks. It speaks now. Oh no. It's just pointed at me. I've let it down. Oh no. What was that? A potion. Who said that?
This reminds me of a book I read once. What if you got in your pockets there?
Here you are. He takes out a little like jellyfish bladder looking thing with some bubbling liquid inside. It appears to be some kind of healing potion. You've seen these before.
I'm
Walykos.
happy to take that.
Vapor would definitely be able to recognize it.
Ask him if he wants
a fish head.
fish head. What?
Roly poly fish head. Eat it up. Yum.
He says roly-poly fish head. My
Offer
guess is
him
yours.
the drake that we took down. Offer him that for meat in exchange for him helping us.
If you're looking for payment, we can offer you the meat of that there kite sail.
You're paying me to hurt me. What are you? Some kind of sadist?
I
know
don't,
you're kind. I grew up around you.
we
and
don't
you.
wish to hurt you.
Vapor's
We
going to
wish
walk over and put a hand on Aygir. He goes, "You're taking too long. Let me try this."
Oh shit!
He wants to touch you too. Well, you're not going to touch me.
I won't touch you.
Fine, be my guest.
You want to
We
see
know
the
it's-
water? Fine. I'll show you the water. Oh, it's this way. And he begins making his way on small, short, dwarf-like legs.
You're
Esper,
very-
can
Vapor's
I,
going to look to Walykos and go, "Pipes, just leave it here for him."
can I drink the potion?
And it is indeed a potion of healing.
Is it just a normal potion of healing, or a greater, or anything special?
It is just a potion of healing.
So when he gets past me and
Oh, the ghost in the shadows.
once he gets past me and and he's not looking in my direction, I'm gonna sort of like peek out of my hiding spot, like look at Walykos and like see if he wants me to just kill this guy like right now.
I just shake my head because if you were listening, like he's leading
Yeah.
us. To
No, I was. I'm just like from Adriel's perspective, he's like, we should just kill this guy. So
But that's short-sighted. It is not a bad because he's very.
oh, I know. Yeah, no, like,
The guy's just lost his mind.
that's why Adriel's just like thinking like.
I mean, he's
should-
erratic. He's a danger to us still, but
Yeah, but Adriel will like walk out of his hiding spot now, and like he'll walk up to everyone, and then he'll basically say,
Vapor will follow him.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, I'll say. Yeah, we're following him. I'm saying this like while we're walking. I'm gonna say, although he may be of some help, I don't know if he's going to be a benefit for much longer. I say that we take him out when we get the chance. He may become more of a burden than a help later on.
I have to agree with you, considering how erratic he is, unfortunately. Can I just a reminder to Adriel, roll your ammunition die that you used.
Oh yeah, so it's just a D12.
D12. If you get a one, it
roll a 1, it goes down to a D10.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Very
if I
unlikely, but it's just you roll it after each encounter.
and when I roll the D12, like so what happens if I
Just roll a D12. Tell us what you get.
an 8?
You're fine. You don't lose any ammunition.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh,
Effectively, you're not tracking actual ammo. When you roll a 1, it decreases. You've used up some of your ammo.
I see. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, or like you couldn't recover it, or they broke, or whatever. Okay, so he shakes his hand, his fingers this way, and down. That will take you to the spot you desire.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you tell us before we let you return to your home? Can you tell us where the three-headed ones live?
Chuck and Burr, they dwell over there, and he points towards this tunnel here.
Good to know. And where does the tunnel go that leads? I point to the ones that we don't know where they go. Yeah.
That way. It's all submerged down there. Flooded out. Yes, flooded out. You'd have to swim. I've never been.
And back this way, I point towards the southern tunnel. That way.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
I have gone no further than the rain curtains. Yes, I have not traveled beyond the rain curtains. Don't trust them. Don't trust them, no.
All right. Well, thank him, Aygir or Vapor, or whichever one.
Vapor Wolfing. Thank you. There's an offering for whoever you worship back in your room.
Worship?
Okay, so.
Who gives you your power?
That which speaks. He comes to me. He comes when he chooses. But no, I have disappointed him.
Well, perhaps the offering will
I
be...
fear what he might do to me.
Clearly, he's a warlock of the celestial origin.
There is an offering.
This is a face worth mocking, but you'll see me again in your dreams.
Okay.
All right. So does he start walking back now?
He mumbles.
Yeah, we pretty much saw him. He can go back.
He takes a few paces and he says to, I guess it's Walykos or maybe Vapor. Might I have my belongings back, please?
I tossed them in the corner of his room.
Yeah.
They're in your room.
Very
They're still in your room.
Very well. You have bested me this day. You and you and especially you. It is not common that this has happened to me. I have slain many. I am great. But you have one. I recognize this. Leave me be.
We shall leave you be.
So
if you translate that to me, I put a hand on Adriel and I say, do we need to kill him now? I mean, at this point, he's no threat to us. Killing him is like just slaughtering an animal for no reason.
And one we can't even eat at that.
My concern, though, is that he lives in these caves, and if some other people or goblins or anything find him, he may tell them exactly where we are and what we're doing.
I mean, we're not going to be here that long.
Yes.
He's also a danger to Lami's plans as well. He cannot do that. I'm going to start like pulling out my short bow as he starts walking. Like
Vapor is
backward.
going to put a hand also on Adriel. He will stay in his area. We stay in ours. I do not think Lami will need to worry about him.
I'm like ignoring Vapor. Adriel just looks to Walykos to see if he wants him to just shoot the arrow or not.
There is a certain is there like a concept like karma, like in this setting? I guess
Sure.
there's a certain fate to those who show mercy. Perhaps we will be shown mercy when we need it most. Let this one pass, Adriel.
I'll like keep the bow for a bit, just sort of
Yeah.
thinking.
And I leave the choice to you, but
Yeah.
I've given you my wisdom. as
Yeah,
well.
I'll sort of keep the bow, and I'm thinking to myself, and then maybe thinking a bit of like Walykos and sort of how he's a bit deformed as well, seeing a bit of a
Yeah.
similarity there. I'll sort of lower the bow and sort of put the quiver or put the bow or put the arrow back in my quiver, put the bow across my back, say, just this once, Walykos, and then I'll walk forward.
Thank
Adriel?
you.
You have a short bow, right?
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay,
Adrian.
that doesn't really go over the back, but okay.
All right, and then I'll walk forward.
Probably over his shoulder is what you
Yeah,
That's what I meant, like over the shoulder.
Yeah, when you said over your back, I'm thinking, short bow? That doesn't.
But no, and I will, and then I'll like walk.
We've got
forward.
you keeping us on points, Vince.
All right. Excellent. Very good. Very good. You all have accrued another milestone.
Oh, wow.
And I think this is the right place to pause things for the time being. But well done with your sneaking and your.
I mean, that's
Good
more
job.
milestones this session that I think we've earned in.
Well, that's 5, yeah.
Yeah. And wait, but Nick's character didn't die.
Well,
Well, right before the session ends,
we still
everyone
have one more
lower
session.
ship.
We still have one more session, at least in this campaign, before we see his death.
That's true. That's true.
That's right.
There's next session.
I just hide now after I attack, so no one can attack me.
Yes,
Mirror-
I've noticed that.
Mirrormourn, so things are backwards. So he's actually going to die on the second to last session.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, Hey, it'll be the opposite of it'll be
So
the
you
opposite.
guys
of
are scheduled to die next session. That's how it's going.
exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you for running, Esper. It's
Esper,
a great.
yeah.
Been
Always a
looking-
blast. Doing
Yeah,
something with you.
Yeah. This is a great campaign. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
always great fun talking Nick out of murdering people.
I think this was a good session. I had fun with you
Yeah,
guys.
Adriel's a bit of
You're
a,
gonna hit him with your bow until you kill him.
yeah. Yeah, Adriel's a bit of a bad person for sure.
So there's
I
see-
love the kind of alignment-based debates and discussions.
Yeah.
going on.
I'm digging it.
absolutely. I feel like though Adriel, like even though he's a bad person, there's chaotic evil and there's lawful evil.
Yeah, I'm lawful for sure. Yeah.
Correct. That's why we were able to talk you out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, because if I was just chaotic evil, it's just like, oh, you don't want me to kill him?
Well, I'm gonna do it
unfortunate.
anyway.
Yeah, it's like that's really unfortunate.
It's like, you make a good point, and then you put the
Yeah.
Nick, I see
Oh, yeah, totally.
many.
You make a really great point. He starts walking away and then just turns back around and shoots him.
Exactly. That's chaotic evil, yeah, for
That's a
sure.
really great point.
That would be a teal.
You know
Nick,
what a better point is? An arrow point.
Start chatting. Thank you, everybody, for watching live and everyone
Yes.
who caught up on the post view. See you in 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
2 weeks.
Bye, guys.
We will.
Bye. Later.